Oh, am I live? Am I live? Am I live? Am I live? Am I even alive? It looks like I'm live. I'm live. I can't figure out if I feel like fucking shit or if I feel like fucking shit up. You know what I mean? Let's rap. I don't remember when I made this beat or what the fuck I was thinking. I hid the bodies in the back of my mind, you're not gonna find them. Trolley problem, grind them under the wheels. I'm probably a healing tonic if you are really with sonic autism. This Roskism can only be leapt. Kept too much to myself, spread too much wealth, and strangely, nothing has really changed me. I rearrange scenes constantly. I'm unsponsored and you can see I'm monstrous with real art. Peel hard against your skin so it all rips off. I'll chop your tits off for all you trans men. Implant them in my chest. Nobody wanna pay me cause I'm a wrong-headed investment like sex without a condom or money. If you think that bar is funny, we are sick. So we should rob them of their medicine and eat the rich, including the kids. Tops Blueby, I be wearing the bib. You in a movie, but they put me in Civ for being president. Resident Evil. Everything I do is illegal. People think I'm unequal when they hear me speak with regal authority. You need to stop ignoring me to live. I rebreathe and give. I got these shivs to hand out. My band's out of members and clan killed pretenders. Coheed and Cambria's never rendered. I need a family of clever benders uncannily handling the weather to rain out this event. Get some clout so I can vent and someone hears it. Disappear and disappear again, make no appearance. Hand me all the checks, I'm gonna clear it up. Here's the fuck I gave, now take it. That's all I wrote of that. Sarah Louise, CC, Gigadonk, Agidine, Nisa, Mrs. Yellow Red. Hello, everybody. Sarah says, all American self-hatred runs deep. White boys all I see whenever I sleep. I know, right? I had dreams last night. I don't remember them. I know I had them, though. I'm not the biggest fan of having dreams. When I sleep, I mean. Having, like, aspirations is fine. Oh, boy. Welcome. Hello. How are you all doing? How's everybody going tonight? How was that rapping? That some good rapping for you? I want to empty my brain. I just want to make it not full. I feel like I got a filled up brain. And every time something new goes into it, something else leaves. So I have to start, like, emptying out all the stuff that's in there so there's more room without, like, you know, having to force things out. It feels like I'm constantly trying to cram a new thing into my fucking skull. And it's already full of shit. It needs to be purged out of it. Christmas is ready with all that rapping. Oh, shit. Do I have another beat I can rap on here? What is Lemonade Girl? That sounds like a Blind Skywatcher beat. Yeah, definitely. Be careful what you make them memorize. The truth is never hidden, it is written right behind the eyes. You get too long in the tooth, it grows up and inside, enamel in the mind. Huh. What you had knew is now mine to handle too. Black coffee, the ramble juice, bought a back-stacked mantle color of chartreuse for use as a bar. That's inarguably far from true, but you believe what you read even when looks are deceiving. Here's a relieving bar. David digs his hard facade over the hard heart, splitting apart for the art of it. Artifice anchored in influence ever repeating, like a hook that isn't leaving your skin. Reprieve in the sin, please. Xboxes and ovaries, hand over controller, roll foxpaw over the joystick, and press B to shoot the beam. If you know what I mean, then sing. That was that whole rap. Alright, another one. Alright. Moonlight Lady, Labia, Lip Dance, Hip Tran... No, that one needs a different beat. Okay, hold on. Hold that note. Wait. Hold that note. So close I could hold that throat. Pop out, pick a pose, and float up to the clouds. Rain down. Boats on the sound, no frowns remain. They put a crown on a goat like Satan worship. I'm patient for this shit. Like sound investments, my bass pounds intestines, Scarface inflections, nouns laced with weapons, crowds racing into stadium sections, labia flexing, little licks all over, big dicks ain't covert, come on and over, respond when sober, I pawn my old her, I spawn my new heart, I con my muse to do new art. I caught my dude using smooth remarks. My rude and crude dude inspires the artist. I flew so you could run, walk, or even get started. Even depart the part of your ego that slows you completing the arc. I'm reading your part. I'm eating your arms after the plane crash. Purchase pain stash. This is music for users of music, abusers of music, and choosers of music, new birds of music, huge nerds of music, music for music, it's music for music. A big lung runner, I'm Gundam, bitch, I am Gundam. Hung on to my dick all summer. Time to cut it off, bitch, I'm about to cut it off. I'm Gundam, bitch, I am Gundam. Run these jewels as soon as I cut them. Chuck them into the bag, I've had it. Put the fucking jewels in the bag, I've had it. Bitch, I am Gundam. Fucker, I am Gundam. I'm the fucking one. Got you bitches on the run. Got you fuckers ficking stunts. Rolling blunts, planning bullshit. Panning for the gold in the pool pit. Bullshit, bullshit, put it on my grave, I'm amazing. I became a slave to the craven. I'll create a lane for the babies. I corrupt the brain, I am rabies. I disrupt the game with my maybes. I erupt again when they play me. Deconstruct the way that they name me. Rearrange the way they display me. I became a way that you may be. I am the wave of the flaming bee. Yeah, that one felt good. That was a 4-minute ass beat. God damn. Well done, Sarah. I don't think I've ever made a fucking 4-minute instrumental. Instrumentals are a little quiet. I will pump that shit up for ya. I was worried they'd get too loud. Just a little though. Alright, hold on. We'll do one more. Since you've pointed that out. Actually, let's just play Wave Dash real quick. Wait, that's not even the final form of that, is it? I don't know. There she goes. Yeah. No, that's already got vocals on it. Nu metal drum track Slipknot style. That must be what the drums were in that song, the first one I did. Hold on. Well, this says bass finish. What does that mean? Why does everything have to download? It's on the computer I'm using. It doesn't need to download. Okay, hold on. Alright. Get up from sitting when I'm listening to Gollywog, wishing I didn't relate to Griffith. Flickering flame in the distance, says it'll hurt, but just rip it off. Probably want a cracker, no synagogue? Well, splinter off. Here's a cough, you hear a softly shaking heart unbreaking under everything. Taking umbrage how I qualify as queen. What the fuck is this beat? Hold on. That did not go where I thought that was gonna go. Alright. Reaching for the sky. I don't want EDM. I want hip-hop. Yeah, definitely more of a house beat. Trippie Red style beat. Is this what Trippie Red raps on? Okay, I like that bass. Okay. Iridescent, blessing, pleasant pheasant when undressing, effervescent in her messiness, consensus needs a stretching. If you're stressing, let me see, I think I know a technique. No one sweats unless they're running from me, cause they know I keep the flow on flex with no Rolex. I stay in time and I am full of funky rhyme. Hey, say I keep it running like Olympic marathoner. I am honored to be counted by the ones who know the others, and my brothers keep me in the cupboards like I'm ether. Word to all your speakers, here is Peeker Tricks with a hint of spliff and a beaker full of something smelly. Melt your telly, take a dab and spit fast like ASAP Relly. Fucking dumbass, don't tell me. Don't tell me. Back in my head, my lack of presence will be negatively noted. Photo negatives regularly re-uploaded. Bloated discography riddled with mishaps. The kid raps well, but you can't sell it unless the beat claps, and this crap stinks, apparently. I mean, I guess I kinda like it. Re-listened till the problems became distant and the point jumped forward. Award my warriors with well-honed hearing, fearing left turns and soul burns when it's her turn steering. But let's assuage that. It's gay rap that hangs below minimum wage, like 50s wives in lithium cages, raging, bathing enemies in auburn light as I set the sun on their whole lifelong kiss goodnight. God damn. Forgot about that last bar. Bathing enemies in auburn light as I set the sun on their whole life. Holy shit. Alright. I thought I was gonna just be ranting on the stream, but so far I'm just rapping. I haven't listened to a Trippie Redd song in a minute. I never would. I don't like that guy. Now I want to hear an alicorn doing slam poetry, but they're doing it like they're biracial. That would be, what do you mean by doing it like they're biracial? Like Logic? Like just like Logic's the only rapper who's notably biracial in the sense that it's something that he talks about all the time in his lyrics. How does Logic rap? Just fast? I could probably do that. I don't know any Logic songs. Ooh. Alright. This is cute. I like that it's called Angel Baby. I can write my little ass off, stratospheric blast off, atmosphere is mask off, riddled with the metaphors and cryptic with the crass thoughts, get a horse and get some whores and middle me with flasks drawn, unrealistically ballistic in this bitch and beyond reasoning, cayenne and paprika for the seasoning, infeasible and inconceivable, know what that word means? You heard me blurring memes between the lines and stuffing references into the seams, blessing beats with messy schemes and signaling my sweethearts, try to test the team, we make you eat farts, we eat hearts, we squeak carts through the lidle, broke bitch, blame it on the Bible, thumping dishes, keeping the culture idle. Piles and piles of pebbles creak under my hoofbeat. 6 miles to the peak, my time was better than yours would be. I'm rebel and I'm renegade, relentless on a good beat. Looking to be hood rich before 50, at least hope I could be. Endlessly penning regrets into repair while I ensnare your fears and worries, bully them to disappear. Let's make it clear and state all our intentions up front. I don't give a fuck by where you come from if you come along for the wrong run. I don't give a fuck by where you come from if you come along for the long run. Yeah, come along for the long run. Ay. Appearances may be deceiving, but Virginia is for lyricists. Blink for me repeatedly to signal that you're hearing this. Still here with us? Is it fear or is it trust? Clear the room for this cartoon. The sex scenes are seriously fucked. Turn off your music and put on some Thug Bungalow. I am ungovernable and flow is so indiscernible. Furnace flow, burning sun, sought switcher, sister gold. Got pictures of the goal under the Goldilocks. Goalie block on the ops, I kick him downfield. Dracula, your Renfield. My screech make the fucking paint peel. No deal, I don't talk to the devil, bitch. I'm her. Give me your soul and get to work. Cause hip hop's a sport. No, this chorus cannot be on this beat. It was funny to me to rap something that hard on a beat that soft, but the hook is too much. Cause hip hop's a sport, we run with dust fours. There was more to it, I think. No, I clicked away already. Yeah, discombobulate, hit the throttle late to drift down from Watergate 2 through town to the Norfolk Zoo, perfect view, my 2 eyes Pokemon blue on a sun and moon groove. You notice me, I notice you notice true, it's holding you, controlling you, must be exhumed, fickle human dome restarted, oh don't get me started, Nicholson and departed, the pickle is out of the jar, it's a dill smell in your car to cover the stench of the carcass killed, spilled guts in a field, willed cuts to be healed, filled sluts said it feel great, nil touch on a feels day, come and clutch it's a field day, bum rush me if you real gay, you a lame cause you real fake, I'm a great cause I state truth and I don't talk to no state trooper, I live in multiple states of stupors, I film a digital paper sooner than most computer program could do, where you know you just became fans and viewers, unlock your laptop fan to keep up, speak up, your voice too quiet to peep cause your weak lungs need to be trained, so repeat every word that I say back to me please. Yeah, repeat every word that I say back to me, please. We kill, we crack, we conquer, we pack out sponsors, we wreck up. No, hold on, I fucked that up. We kill, we crack, we conquer, we pack out sponsors, we rack up and roll out. We crack, we conquer, we pack out sponsors, we rack up and I'm the only bae whose faith in me has never been misplaced, never from this place, I'm eternally displaced, further from this face your feeling can't reach me in the siege of my retreating ease, be at peace if I really display my rage, just say my name in the wrong tone and feel your quaking telephone to remember you're not alone, can never be alone, my eyes are all along your ceiling, never trap me in a feeling if you don't want yours revealing to the world. New girls don't get how power levels work. New girls ain't seen me go berserk or living out that one scene from The Jerk. It's a new world singing dot hack hello hello. Put me back into my mellow winged fellow. Before we kill, we crack, we conquer, we pack out sponsors, we rack up and roll out. Yeah, that was like a slower beat than I actually wrote this for, but it was fun to do anyway. Rack up and roll out as opposed to transform and roll out. This one's short but really funny. I'm filled with emotions like a bitch. Trial of the Golden Witch. Miles of road of yellow brick. Ozymandias, I watch over the watchmen. See them going through the motions. Wrong way to be locked in. Rakim, Tupac, Nas to gods I give praise. Malaise gives ways to good days when I get the gravy. I'm a special lady, especially because the buzz I generate feels like when faced with bumblebees all jittering right near your face. Please, not the face. That's all I wrote of that one. Hold on, I've almost done all of the ones I wrote recently at this point. Let's see. This is like a album's worth of bars we've got here. I hid the bodies in the back of my mind. You're not gonna. Oh wait, I already read that one. Shit, maybe I did all of these already. No, I didn't do this one yet. All right. This one's gonna be really hard to do this slow. I get them begging me to breathe and no reprieve in the flow, conceived in the smoke. When I leave they see me float like a ghost to the most haunted hotels in the whole country. My flow country like Cleo Reed, you'll see what you need to see. Won't believe till it's settled, scheming like petals for the daylight. Rhyme brightly like daylight, but when I fight I stay fighting. Bite down and I stay biting, might frown at the stage light. And I came when you stayed to say hi to me, so let's leave behind the real and let the feeling take us under the surface. I reference the purpose and flirted till it felt like a circus. I whisper it's worthless but wish it could be weight of the world. I'm paid like a girl, a woman with the wisdom to whirl. Wind in my unfurling sail and my brow curled to the sweet of your sound. Feet take a pound of the ground with them as I float upwards. Stack selves like upwards, might delve right under your spell. And her skirt smells like squirt. Ew. Alright. When your faculty is failing, follow me into the tabernacle at the back of the factory to pray. That's still just one bar. Here's just 4 bars. Yeah. I hate when half a couplet isn't quotable. I hate that Flint water still ain't potable. Tally up the trauma, take the totalizing total toll and tap to pay. Trolled a bit so you could stay. Yeah, that's all it was for that, so there you go. Okay, that's all the bars I've written recently. Holy shit. I was not planning to rap on this stream, but that's what I wanted to do at the moment. B, what kind of beats are you most looking for right now? I don't even know. I just be grabbing. Like, I haven't really been focused on music lately, so I haven't been thinking about it at all. Quite frankly, I have not been thinking about music. All I've been thinking about is how to make money without compromising my personal sense of morals and ethics, which I'm not sure is possible. I think it might be possible that my sense of morals and ethics are against making money, which is really bad because I like having money. So it's like a weird place I've put myself in of want money but don't want to make money, you know, or don't want to do the things that I know do make money. But yeah, I have not been thinking about music because music don't make me no money. Evan Osum hasn't posted a video in 9 months. I know. I am seriously worried. I mean, it's possible that dude just created a new account and became a different guy. But considering the mental state he was in, I'm not feeling good about it. About that guy being gone. I think there's a high chance that guy is just gone. But, you know. Could be that he just became a different dude. It happens to us sometimes, you know? Us types. I'm, like, forgetting that I am, like, that, like, my screen is fully visible, so I keep like, tabbing over to click on other stuff and be like, I'm doing a live stream right now. Yeah, I hope he's fine, too. I see him every once in a while because I go through my, like, my subscriptions, and I'll see the name, and I'm like, oh, yeah, this dude. Let me go ahead and put on his best song while I go to the bathroom. If he is dead, R.I.P. If not, I hope he's doing better than he was when he was vlogging. But it's insomnia time.
Been a year looking back at the past, and for a year I was trapped in a scene. Could it be I was moving very fast, and could it be that I couldn't even think? Was trying to tell her I was feeling pretty bad, and she was telling, didn't ask, can you leave? Look at me, I don't have any cash, and look at me, I don't have anything. You don't gotta give me any answers, cause baby all your answers are wrong. I was only ever taking chances. Maybe we just don't get along. And you can quit with your dancing, cause I don't even listen to the song. And girl, you've given me cancer, and now I won't live very long. I don't really think I ever liked you. You might just play me apart. Look, I don't wanna fight you, cause baby I would tear you apart. Yet you think you got it tougher than I do. Every evening I fell to the start. Look, I kinda wanna fight you, cause baby I would tear you apart. Spend a year looking back at the past, and nowadays I just tackle my dreams. Could it be I was moving very fast? Could it be that I couldn't even think? Just trying to tell her I was feeling pretty bad, and now she's telling you can stay here with me. Look at me, I don't have any cash, but look at me, now I have everything. Look at me, I don't have any cash, but look at me, now I have everything. Look at me, now I don't have any cash, but look at me, now I have everything. Now I have everything.
I hope that it didn't end too long ago. It really take me more than 2 minutes just to go to the goddamn bathroom. Oh, Jesus. Must have had to really fucking piss. Is there fire alarm chirping in that song? That's wild. I didn't notice that. Yeah, he was definitely like sleeping on a bench in those last couple of videos, so I'm worried about that guy. In as much as I can be worried about someone I don't know in any way, shape, or form. Other than that YouTube algorithmically served me one of his random ass vlogs one day and I became fascinated. Oh man. You sampled him on a couple of beats, that's awesome. I've got the fucking whole new Nina Giraci album in my head. Like, as I'm sitting here in my head, it's just, I've never been to London, 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 and that's true, that's true, that's true. I've never been to London, 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 London. Might have broken his phone. I've had that happen to friends in rough situations before. That's also true. There's a lot of things that could happen. Could have happened. I just hope he's okay, because he did not seem alright. I'm glad that, well, I don't know. Am I glad? For whatever reason, I have spent like 20 years feeling like I'm right on the brink of going insane, but never crossing the line. And I feel like I've gotten like too good at not crossing the line. Like, I feel like it would be better for me to one day just actually fucking lose it. You know, like, but I don't know how it would happen. Like, I don't know what would push me, other than, like, deliberately, or if somebody was, like, torturing me, you know, or, like, put me in a sensory deprivation chamber or something. Although I could probably last longer in one of those than most people. But, I don't know. I don't know what it would take to make me actually crack and, like, not have faculty over myself, you know? I guess normally I just shut down. Like, when I don't feel like I can do anything, or I just will, like, fall out, you know? Sanity is a matter of perspective. That is true. That is true. I have never figured out if I'm more or less sane than the average person. Because I go to the grocery store, and I look at the people there, and I think, none of these people look like they're having a good time. You know, like, regular people do not look like they're having a good time to me. Regular people... Food Lion? Why did you... Webben Vergabens. Are you from Virginia? Y'all got Food Lion? Because, yeah, I mean, I haven't been going there lately, but we do got it. We got the Costco membership, so I've been eating nothing but Costco lately. Went to college in Williamsburg. Amazing. Yeah, that's pretty close. That's, well, it's like 45 minutes away from where I am. I'm in Norfolk. Hello, Gary. Yeah, Food Lion's pretty good for just getting that cheap food. But Costco got them big like, at Costco, it's even cheaper. You just have to get a lot of it, you know. I think people understate how painful self-coercion is. Yeah. If you mean, like, coercing yourself to not go insane, yeah. They do, don't they? Like, but it sucks, right? Because it's like, if you are really good at keeping things together, it means that nobody can tell how hard you're working to keep things together, you know? And I feel like that's always where I've been at, is like, I'm putting all of my effort into just keeping myself together. And from the outside, it looks like I'm just okay. You know, it just looks like I'm doing fine and I'm as usual. And in my mind, it's like a vortex of nonsense, you know. I have not seen Baby Driver at all. Not even the opening scene. I should. Sounds like a really good movie. I've never been to London, 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 London. And that's true, that's true, that's true, that's true. Oh, boy. I've been streaming for 30 minutes, and the average view duration is 4 minutes and 36 seconds. That means that there's like a few of you who have been here the whole time, and then just a constant cycle of like 4 or 5, maybe 10 even, other people coming in, leaving, coming in, leaving. Like, who are they? Who are the random mysterious people that pop in for 4.5 minutes and leave? Or is it that the average view, I mean, if it's average, that means it's between people who have popped in for like 2 seconds and everyone who's been here the whole time, right? If you can watch it without playing the audio on stream, I want to use my Venmo for it. That might be, I don't know if the imagery would be just as bad. How long is the scene? Do I really want to see it without music? Isn't this like a really musical movie? Some of the viewers were me because of proxy shenanigans. Amazing. The music is important. Yeah, I should just watch this movie. I think maybe I'll just watch it, and I'll get back to you. I don't know if I want to watch it with no music, because the whole movie's about how this guy listens to music while he drives, right? Like, that's how I understand it anyway. Oh, if I can listen to the music but without playing the scene. Oh, just listen to it, put it on in a headphone for you, but not play it. I don't think I can do that. The stream audio is just the desktop audio. As you see here. I don't know if I can capture in a way that, I guess I could just turn off desktop audio, right? And then that would do it. You really want to just watch me silently like listen to a song though? Or you mean you would the video would be on screen, but you wouldn't be able to hear the audio? No, this just doesn't sound right. This doesn't sound like it would be entertaining for anyone else. It's really good. The editing is insane. That sounds like a oh god, Edgar Wright. That's his fucking name. God, it's been so long since I watched Edgar Wright's movies. Like, I haven't seen Baby Driver or Last Night in Soho. I don't know if there's another one I haven't seen. I was definitely a pretty big fan in my like early 20s, but I just haven't really kept up. What else did you do? The Running Man. Is this out? Oh, it's not out yet. Hunt Him Down. Based on a Stephen King novel. I see. Glenn Powell, William H. Macy, Lee Pace, Amelia Jones, Michael Cera, Daniel Ezra, Jamie Lawson, Coleman Domingo, and Josh Brolin. Coming out November 7th. Well, hopefully it's good. Yeah, Scott Pilgrim is really good. I did podcasts about all of his first 4 movies, I think, way the fuck back. Like more than 10 years ago. Hold on. It would be on Branches of Yig, Edgar Wright. I doubt I would agree with anything I say in these videos today because they're 11 years old. Digi and Icon. This is back when Vic was going by Iconclasm. Yeah, we reviewed 4 movies. All very glowingly. I think I literally considered them all like 10 out of 10s. He was supposed to do, not only was he supposed to do Ant-Man, but there are some scenes of his that are still in the movie, and it's like maybe less than 10 minutes, but it's so obvious and so jarring when it happens. Like, just every once in a while in that movie, you just suddenly are in a scene that is clearly an Edgar Wright scene, and it doesn't feel anything the fuck like the rest of the movie. It is so bizarre. Oh shit, I just got paid $6.66 by Gary Always, who says sent a YouTube video link. Let's see what this YouTube video link is. I can't click the link in Venmo, so I guess I'm just going to have to type it out. u2.be/8iigqw. Did I type that right? GQWOHX10 question mark SI equals SFTXQ HHMPHD 5K AK5. We did it, gang.
Good morning, America. Entertainment is about to change forever.
I thought for a second that was Best Guy Ever. I'm scared to watch this, actually. I'm scared, and I'm going to tell you why. This is one of my favorite channels. Recently, he may or may not have gone insane, and I haven't found out yet. He did some really weird live streams and some really bizarre shitposty videos, like this Superman one. Most of the comments are like, "Are you okay? Like, are you doing all right?" So I'm really wondering if this guy's doing all right now. He's kind of in the Evnosum boat for me of like, I'm watching what I'm surprised hasn't happened to me happen to someone like me, basically.
And if you want to be a part of it, you need to change.
Unless it's an act, unless it's like an elaborate character acting thing he's doing.
I will not coddle you with lies. AI is going to take your job. And the only way to stop this from happening is to stop thinking of it as a job.
He's for real? Okay, so you've seen this happening too.
Is a labor mindset.
Or no, you mean he's for real in this video. Like, this video is serious. I'll find out, I guess.
And you are not a laborer. You are a creator. Ooh,
True.
But capital it don't. I was a cashier. I was a janitor. I was working on a demolition site at the height of COVID because I couldn't find landscaping work. I come from a stable, lower middle class background, and plenty of my friends growing up had it worse than I did. But according to that graph y'all point to all the fucking time, an extra 20K in the bank is crumbs compared to the billionaires, right? So don't turn around and tell me I'm speaking from privilege.
God damn, I'd like an extra 20K in the fucking bank right now.
I'm gonna give you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help my white ass.
I've got... What do I have in the bank right now? I could send myself this Venmo money that Gary sent me. Gary sent me $15 total today. So add that 15 to whatever's in my bank account. And a few people have sent me money today. Very nice. Very clean. Very appreciated. Wow, I'm up to $51.86. I had like $20 in the bank this morning. So $51.86 plus 14 whatever equal like $65.
And if you don't like it, you can click away. The internet isn't real.
Probably all of which I will spend tomorrow.
For the anti-AI people. It's also for people who use words like normalize and problematic on a daily basis. You know who you are. Lastly, this video is for my sick, confused generation. I want to try to give you guys some hope, especially my fellow artists.
This guy's got the most intense bottom canines I've ever seen.
If you'll allow it. This video is not for people who don't care about this video. You might be like, I'm happy I know who I am. I don't need a creative revolution.
I guess it's just, it feels very different for me because I obviously, my lips part on the top teeth, not at all on the bottom teeth.
And you guys are the salt of the earth. Love you. Sit this one out. Who am I? Well, 3 years ago, I was a person with zero industry connections and zero prospects, if I'm being honest. And then I built something of a life for myself, broadcasting my creativity onto the internet. What is creativity? Creativity is creation. It's
Why did he feel the need to explain that?
when you make a thing. And there are two subcategories of creativity. There's creative problem solving and there's artistic creativity. Kind of self-explanatory. Both of these involve synthesis of existing elements or concepts into a whole that is greater than this.
Have I been exposed to AI doom reasoning? Unless that's what this video is, I don't think so. Or, I mean, if it's just like the reasoning that AI is dooming us or is doomed itself, I don't know. I've seen a lot of doomerism about AI, that's for sure.
A lot of people will say that AI is actually no different from a human brain because
I just realized how
we're
quiet
mimicking
this
things.
is
We're
for
just
y'all.
remixing everything
Sorry
that we
about
had
that.
already consumed, and that is a lie. That is not true. Creativity comes from up here, and it involves a vision. It involves an organizing vision for all of the data that you might have stored inside of you from other media. Not to mention like lived experiences. Again, this is why our generation is so crazy. But I digress. The ability to render an image is not inherently creative. The ability to sing is not inherently creative. The ability to rehearse choreography is not inherently creative. If someone else made up the task you are doing, you are at least in part a laborer. A laborer uses their training or is trained to execute a task in exchange for money. But a creative decides what tasks need to be done. They bring the vision, and then if they so choose, they can hire laborers to execute that vision. A laborer is a node in the system, following instruction.
I kind of get what he means. Like, I'm thinking of studio musicians as like the best example, right? Where like studio musicians are amazing at technical craftsmanship of playing their instrument. Hello, Elaine. But like, typically they're not songwriters. They're people who just know how to play the instrument incredibly well, and they mostly play other people's music. And they can be hired by songwriters, you know, to do what they are creating. So I think that's kind of what he's getting at. Do I think that is not creative? I don't care that much about the language, I guess, of it, but it's an interesting thought. Studio musicians often write parts but not full songs. Yeah, I would think, right? Like, they gotta be throwing in some of their own flavor to be, like, if they're that good, right? I'm a huge fan of Jordy Griep, musician Jordy Griep. And he used to have a band called Black Midi, a prog rock band, and then he went and did a solo project. And since doing that, like, basically on the solo project, he just hired a bunch of session musicians. Like, he flew to Brazil because he wanted a Brazilian sound, got a bunch of Brazilian session musicians, all of them knocked it out of the park. He realized they're like way easier to work with than anyone else. Like, session musicians are just like, give them music and they just do it really good. So he started touring in a way where everywhere he goes, he brings in different musicians, not always even session musicians. Sometimes it's just like, you know, whatever badass jazz players exist in that place. But like, he basically plays his entire album with every song being like twice as long as it is on the album. Like, the man has one 45-minute album and his live shows average like 2 fucking hours. 90 minutes to 2 hours. And because they just stretch them so much and they add in like cover songs and stuff. But it's almost always a completely different band. So I've watched so many Jordy Griep live shows, even though he has so few songs, and he plays all of them in every show, because it just sounds totally fucking different with different players, you know. He played a show in Japan that, in that typical Japanese way, was just unimaginably tight and fast. You know, he's got shows that are way looser, way more fun and freeform. He's got shows that are like, and again, it's the same fucking songs. What's his band called? It's just called Jordy Griep. It's just a guy named Jordy Griep doing Jordy Griep. His old band was called Black Midi. If you mean the previous one. But yeah, he was in Black Midi. They made like 3 albums, I think, within like 3 or 4 years, and then he split off and made his own thing not that long afterwards. And apparently he's got a bunch of other potential projects that I guess he's just kind of sitting on while he, you know, fully elaborates the touring and everything off the first one, which I'm not mad about. Like, he toured off of it right after it came out, and then he toured off of it again this year, and the stuff this year was like next level. You know, like, the old stuff was good, the original performances, but this time it was like the people have definitely had time to learn the music. So all the shows are just fucking crazy that he did this year. Particularly, look up the one in London. There's like a 2-hour London show with like 10 or 12 musicians or some shit on stage. It's fucking nuts. My comment was at the top. Amazing. I don't even remember leaving comments on them, but that's awesome. On the Japan show. That sounds right, though. That sounds like something I would do. Let me go find what I said. Club Metro. Yep, you can tell by my time code. It looks like I didn't even finish this one, actually. Completely unbelievable version of Terra and the new sound, and I'm only that far in, which means I probably Those are like the first couple songs, right? Yeah, literally the first 2 songs, and I was already like blown the fuck away. Yeah, I've heard those songs a lot of different ways, and they are very, very good. I'll probably make a video about that album, because Nova said, like, that was at the end of Nova's big Open Mike Eagle video. She said, I will probably cover Jordy Greep. Hey, Gigalist is here. Lamau Whoops wrong account. Not the wrong account. Everybody follow Gigalists. That's Gigadonk's Lists channel. Did you know that Gigadonk also does tier lists? Like a whole channel just for tier lists? Gigalists! There's something awe-inspiring about people who have fully mastered their craft and could play like this. Yeah, it's pretty nuts. Any other favorite live bands? There's not a lot of bands that I've like sought out their live material like that. Like outside of just going to the shows. You know, I've been to a lot of shows. Boris is probably my favorite show I've been to, and also just one of my favorite bands. I think they have the best discography. Gigadonk says, cool if I jump in now. I'll bring you in a moment. I'm going to go piss after I finish talking about Jordy Greep, and then I'll bring you in. Also, we're still kind of watching this AI and the Creative Revolution video, but you can jump in on this. I literally forgot I was watching this. I got so distracted talking about Jordy Greep. I'm so excited about Jordy Greep, and nobody wants to talk to me about Jordy Greep. Because the music is not easy to listen to. It is not like... It's not accessible to anyone unless you are like a jazz freak, or jazz, I should say a prog rock freak, because it is prog rock. It's not really jazz, but you know, what's really the difference? I don't really know. Bro looks like a dollar store best guy ever. That's literally what I said at the start. I was like, wow, this looks like a best guy ever video. I'm still not sure if he's trolling in this video, or in life right now, but alright, let me be right back from the bathroom. While I'm gone, I'll just put on some Jordy Greep, and then y'all can tell me, alright? I'm not gonna play the album version, because that would get me taken down, but the live shows will be fine. Most of them are not even, like, recorded particularly well, but that will not stop me from watching them. This is, like, the ultimate show right here. Right, while I'm in the bathroom... The new sound would be funny because it is kind of like elevator music. Yeah, let's put on the elevator music. I'll just look at that for a few minutes. Sarah said, I wish Grief would turn around. I want to see what he's playing. Yeah. I think just because there's so many fucking people in this band, he's really trying to show them what he's playing. Let me bring Krona in here. Oh. There's a new Mayday from Space video. What were you allowed to play? Well, that's a great fucking idea for a video. Okay, this song is literally more than like 10 minutes long, so I'm thinking... Or maybe this version's not as long. No, it is. It is, right? That's from 19 to 32, so that's definitely more than 10 minutes long. It's pretty much just a constant escalation. Like, if it sounds like it's just been rising and rising, it doesn't stop sounding that way. That's kind of what the new sound is the sound of just non-stop, never-ending rise. Feeling that the song keeps going up and up and up and up and up and up and up. You're gonna pay me to watch? Hell yeah. Alright, let me bring in Krona, though. Meow! What the heck? You're coming through my computer. That's not good. Those headphones. There we go. Meow? There we go. Now I hear you in my headphones. In the good old
Meow, 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 meow.
Are you singing that because we're going to be playing... fuck, I almost said Final Fantasy. We're going to be playing Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time together on Friday.
First of all, I love how quickly you recognized what song I was singing. Second of all, I have been meowing that song for months to myself. It never leaves my brain. It's just particularly relevant now.
You mentioned Best Guy Ever earlier in chat. Do you remember his take on that song?
No.
You have to eat your greens.
Oh my fucking god.
You have to eat. You have to eat.
Taking me back in time. Oh god, no, it's 2017 again. Ah!
Oh god, that's so long ago.
What an awful year.
That long ago. Oh, I'm getting hot. Alright. So you're gonna react with me, yeah?
Yeah, it'll be funny.
Oh, I gotta share my screen with you so you can fucking see shit. There we go. This man who is looking way too much like Best Guy Ever in this particular shot. I haven't quite figured out what he's talking about in this video yet. So let's find out.
And a creative is the person who designs the system, either to address a problem or to execute an original artistic vision, such as, putting together a film crew, or both. Obviously, like everything else, creative input in the workplace is a spectrum, but that is how I define the two ends. And yes, it's a class system. Welcome to class consciousness. Human consciousness is inherently hierarchical. There will always be classes, and you should be conscious of them. I made an hour-long video about it, no biggie. Well, but that's not the way it should be. Okay, well, not every conversation is a should conversation. A lot of people, especially in my generation, mistake ignorance of universal law for transcendence of it. They give themselves a pat on the back for writing everything off as a social construct, which is really just a cope for not knowing how the game works. You know what else you can't deny?
Oof. Krona, I want to know how you feel about that.
I'm sorry, can you play the last 10 seconds again?
Yeah. That statement hit me.
Conversation.
Hold on.
Human consciousness is inherently hierarchical. There will always be classes, and you should be conscious of them. I made an hour-long video about it, no biggie. Well, but that's not the way it should be. Okay, well, not every conversation is a should conversation. A lot of people, especially in my generation, mistake ignorance of universal law for transcendence of it. They give themselves a pat on the back for writing everything off as a social construct, which is really just a cope for not knowing how the game works.
That part.
Oh, God.
Do you think that he's right or not about that?
That's something I would need to reflect on for a minute. I've been drinking. This is kind of hard for me to process right now.
It's something that people brought to my attention about the way that I communicate a long time ago, because I used to talk about politics in this very loose, non-committal kind of from the distance way that's very idealist. Like, I talked about it like, here's what should be happening. And people would always be like, yeah, but there is nothing in place to make that happen. So, like, unless you're planning to work towards that, you should be talking about what can literally be done. Like, what is actionable, what is reality, you know? And he's basically saying, like, a lot of people just ignore what reality is because it's comforting to think that, like being right, like, understanding the way things should be is like a comfort to feel like, well, I'm above this whole system I'm stuck in. But it's like, you're not, though. You are stuck in that system. You are a part of it. And if you're not acknowledging it, that might make you feel better, but it doesn't do anything for your ability to actually navigate those systems and to maybe, you know, change the position that you're in or change the way that things are. Because if you're just talking about how things should be but not how they could be made that way, then, you know, there's nothing to work off of, basically.
It's I don't know. I feel like both ends of the spectrum can definitely be cope.
That I agree with also, big time.
I think,
especially the way he's doing it right now. The way he's doing it with this very, like, and I know, like, I know how to live, unlike you fools, you know, like, is very, all right, buddy, like, and how great is your life right now, you know, as he's, like, downward spiraling through a bunch of weird vlogs, but...
It's definitely that kind of air that I get from, like, I don't know, some people, there's definitely a difference between, like, was it, like, pessimism and realism, and people get those things confused all the time. Thinking like, oh, you're thinking too abstract, you're thinking too much about the way things should be and not accepting what they are. And it's like, I think you accept the way things are too much, though.
Yeah.
Like, I think you need both. You need both to have, the correct take.
You definitely need both. I mean, if you're not thinking about how to improve things, how would they improve? You know, like, if nobody's making an effort to make things better. I do think there's a lot of people, though, and I guess I felt that because I feel like I was one of those people. Like, for a long time, I was kind of sitting there going, oh, well, none of you are doing anything right, so fuck all of you, you know? And it's like, well, okay, but I'm not doing it right either, you know? Like, it's one thing if you're actually doing something, and then you don't really have time to look down on people if you're actually doing something, because you're too busy doing shit, you know?
Yeah.
I'm going to read a little chat. Let's see. Honestly, I think that's a massive cope, says Shoujo Weirdo. Yeah, I think you said that too. He working outside the box of extinction, learning the disposition is correct, but only if you conform. I don't know. I think you should know I think you should know the playbook everyone else is working from, even if you're not working from it, because it helps to understand why other people are doing what they're doing. Gary says, both is definitely important, and funnily enough, he gets to a point in the video where I think he's actually being too optimistic. Well, I'll look forward to that, I guess. Papa says, I don't like when people mix definitions like that. It's an easy way to sneak weird metaphorical associations in. Yeah. This idea has no idea what's going on with Local Script Man, no idea if he's doing a bit or not. Me neither! That's why I've been tripping off of this. Like, straight up, okay, like, this channel, regardless of however you feel about this video, the 9-part Enneagram series is one of my favorite video series I've ever seen on YouTube, which is, the Enneagram it's kind of like MBTI, but for writers. It's like there's 9 generic flaws, like personality flaws that a person can have that in order to write an arc, you need to deal with how are they going to overcome that specific flaw, you know? So, God, it's weird because each of these thumbnails has changed too. So now they're all like weirdly mimetic, which they were not before. But although these are great thumbnails, they do make the point pretty well. But like, yeah, each of them is just explaining the archetype, what characters fall into it, you know, how to sort of identify, because like you as a person probably fall into one of these archetypes like more than any other. You know, like, I think mine was 9. I think I felt like I was the most, like, Enneagram type 9 in terms of what my problems are, which is type 9s are people who basically think this is fine, you know, who just, like, are so armored and so deep in the hole that they're just used to being in the hole, and, like, the idea of climbing out of the hole doesn't even really occur to them because they're just used to being in the hole, you know.
They're giving me homework now. I got to figure out which type I am. Huh?
Again, this is starting with this video, fixing the Enneagram, and then he does them in reverse order. So it goes from 9 to 1. All those videos are great. And then immediately after finishing that, he just seemingly like started making weird, like, okay, this one that's complaining about Superman is particularly strange. Like, it doesn't feel serious. Like, it feels like a parody of, like, why you wouldn't like the movie, kind of. Whereas, like, this video, Full Meta Jackman, this is how I found the channel, which is just blowing Deadpool 3 for 18 minutes. You know, like, just being like, oh, this movie fucking rules, it's so good. Written really well about why the movie is written really, really well. So I was like, yeah, this channel rules. And then I, you know, got really into it. But right now, cannot tell what he's doing. Cannot tell if this is a weird bit. If he's been hired by someone to do a weird bit, I have no idea. But I understand why, if you felt like, oh, my YouTube career is not really doing what I want it to do, I'm gonna fucking do the craziest idea I've got in my mind. I can understand that.
You know what else you can't deny? Karma. The karmic principle is an actual law of reality. Put good in, get good out. The average person doesn't deserve greatness. That's the whole point of greatness. And here's my big $100 point.
Holy fucking shit, that was a lot to have said.
Yeah.
If you're identifying as a laborer, you are locking yourself out of that greatness. You are suffocating the spirit of creation that dwells within you, as well as handicapping yourself economically. Let's say you're a commission artist and you draw a butterfly really well. And you
A golden
charge
butterfly?
$80 for butterfly commissions. You're not going to make money unless someone else has an idea that requires a drawing of a butterfly. You're like, oh, this room would look good with a butterfly, and then they call you. So you're beholden to market forces. But butterfly drawings are not federally regulated. You're not in a butterfly art union. You're a laborer providing a non-essential service. And because the service you're providing is non-essential, people are going to roll their eyes when you start yapping about your rights. When truckers get together and they go, hey, treat us better. Society is forced to listen and accommodate because for the moment we still need truckers. But digital artists, zero leverage because
This, fucking Andrew Yang's whole book, back when he was running for president, was about how AI trucking was going to just, like, ruin America. He was like, if we don't have UBI by the time AI start driving trucks, then the truckers are going to strike and it's going to be fucked. Maybe he's right. He thought that was going to happen within, like, 10 years. It's already been, like, 5, and it doesn't seem like we're anywhere near that, but...
Nope.
I think everybody who is a futurist thinks the future is going to happen way faster than it is.
Yeah, the like self-driving truck thing is always horseshit. Like I've been a trucker before. There's no fucking way with how.
Yeah. That's
with
why
how
I had to
often,
bring
like,
this up to you.
how often self-driving cars fuck up and just like ram into people during tests. Yeah, no, a fucking 18-wheeler. There's no way. There's no way it's worth the risk. Insane.
Nope. They're always going to need a human to be in there to, like, fail-safe it, you know, even if it was, like, really good tech.
We already have trains.
Unless they were going to make roads that are just for AI cars. That would be different. Like, but that would be so expensive. It would take forever. So, yeah, I don't think that's happening anytime soon. I think Yang, like myself, too futurist. I have this book I started writing in 2021 that is supposed to be set in 2024, and, like, we already passed 2024, but, like, none of the technology that I presented in the book has happened yet. Like I just thought we were going to be way further into VR by now, and so, like, the book is heavily about, like, futurism through VR, but, like, VR
that's also
is barely
also what Ricky Kalahara thought, but, you know.
Yeah, true.
When does SAO take place? It's like 2021 or something.
Oh,
and they have
Jesus. Yeah,
they have like automatic Star Trek doors in the hospital.
Why would they do, like, if they wanted those, they would already have them, right? Like, It's not like we don't have automatic doors.
Well, when you're bleeding out and you need to be taken to the ER right away, the first thing we want is a door that opens automatically and also wishes you a good day.
It's funny you said Star Trek automatic doors, because Star Trek is what inspired automatic doors in the first place. Like, they literally came up with it, and then other people were like, we can just do that. Like,
That's really funny. I had no idea.
What are you going to do? Make demands? Okay, I'll just not buy your non-essential service. You can draw a monarch butterfly? Okay, well, the computer can do it in 5 seconds. You charge $80 for that? I can't afford you. I'm a third-grade science teacher who buys her own pencils trying to make a presentation for her students. I'm an underground rapper who has an idea for an iconic album cover, but only $10 in his bank. I'm a person with an idea, and you are a worker with a skill. And just like the humans who used to be called calculators, the navigators who made all our maps, the typists, the calligraphers, your job will inevitably be phased out, reduced to an obscure hobby. You might find a path in a traditional lane. I'm not ruling that out. But
I didn't know there were humans that used to be called calculators, which makes me coming up with the term human calculator for a neurotype even funnier to me.
Be for real, how many calligraphers do you know? I'm sorry, I'm just the messenger. This will happen whether or not I say it. I'm saying it
real
so
quick,
that...
I want to read some chat. Dr. Killjoy said, nihilism often feels like the intellectually correct response. It's just not very useful. That is very true. Very true.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
I just said yeep.
Oh, okay. I thought you said wait, and I was like, wait, what? wait for what? What am I waiting for?
Yep.
Fine, it said, and that you need theory and practice, even the super high-minded stuff that barely anyone understands, which in part has to be proven and is working out right now. Papo says, you an Enneagram head only through this guy's videos. Like, I had never heard of it. Never once in my life. I found him through the Full Metal Jackman video, and then he started doing Enneagram right afterwards. So I was like, oh, this is fucking crazy. It's easy to think he's doing a bit when you read the replies because people are getting angry at things that he didn't actually say and ignoring stuff that he did say. Yeah, I guess it's less this video as, like, the reason it feels like he's doing a bit is he did some really strange live streams, and also the Superman video is, like, even weirder than this one. I just think it's probably not so much that it's a bit as that he just decided I'm going to be, like, really, like, all the way, like, I'm not going to hold back anymore in a way that, as a YouTuber, you have a natural inclination to kind of make you, like, what you understand to be YouTube videos, like, you've seen hundreds of them, so you kind of just make what you know it to be. This feels like someone who decided, like, I'm going to stop making YouTube videos and make just, like, I'm just going to say what's really on my mind, totally unfiltered, not worry about how it could be misunderstood or, like, taken weird. I'm just going to fucking say it. Which I admire, but I also am worried. When someone just disappears into Beamery, it becomes like, uh-oh, is he all right, or is,
You can get on the wave and survive. Oh, by the way, you live in hell.
It's just, oh, by the way, you live in hell, like that kind of thing. It's just the kind of statement that makes you go, all right, okay.
/ pop culture, which for many of us is our primary cultural identity, if we're being honest, is a dysfunctional cloud of cheap dopamine and media worship. And yes, I said worship. You frame it as discourse, so you get to feel like a contributor. But if we just measure it in inches, you're a worshiper. Most political and pop culture discourse.
Oh, funny. You put on FD Signifier's Beyonce is Everything video.
Absolutely inconsequential to the events themselves. Oh my God, did you hear such and such did that? That's so problematic. Why aren't we talking about this? More people need to be talking about this.
I mean, I do think part of the point of this video is that Beyonce is, like, actually a modern god. Like, in as much as such a thing could be conceptualized, like, she is worshipped on the level of a deity, if not, like, there's probably a lot of historical deities that had far fewer worshippers than Beyonce.
Yeah.
Gotta perform a Beyonce to get the voice of Beyonce into your head.
Sarah Louise says that's also where I stopped watching that video.
Oh, that's funny, like right here. I wonder why. I don't think I made it this far into this video, so now I'm wondering, like, what happened around here?
Sure, you talk about it. I am busy. And
unless that's just where the Nebula ad starts, and it's like 20 minutes of Nebula ad.
I get that people fall on hard times. I get that we don't decide our spawn point. I get that the economy is gay right now. But some of y'all will watch Prole slop like Love Island for 3 hours straight.
Prole slop. That's the kind of statement that makes me go, is this a troll? Is he serious? Prole slop? Oh my God. Holy fuck. Have you heard the term friend slop to describe games like Peak?
No, that's really funny.
I brought up Peak to my brother Shade, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I've heard that's like a friend slop game." And I was like, "I mean, yeah, but
Sure. Sure.
why is everything slop now? It's like a good game. It's whatever."
I actually love that term though, friend slop. That's like a perfect shorthand for how I've been describing Cards Against Humanity for years.
That's exactly what that is. Yeah.
You like, go to a party full of people you don't really know that well, and it's kind of awkward. And you're like, "Oh, well, we could play Cards Against Humanity," and it's like, there you go. Now you can make titty butthole jokes, and no one has to be held responsible for being weird.
My mom
Wonderful.
owns like every set of Cards Against Humanity. She has like a massive box of all the fucking cards.
It's the go-to coworker game. You go to like a party with coworkers. That's what it's for. It's fucking hello. I don't know how to socialize with you outside of work. Want to play Cards Against Humanity? All right, here we go.
know if you'll feel safe playing this with me because I have a really dark sense of humor.
I'm like the king of like dark, like fucked up jokes.
Somehow the is really added to that.
Actual conversation I've had.
And complain about how the system is holding you down. It is, just not in the way that you think. You are digital livestock. Moo, you are caught in a cycle of algorithmic outrage and other people's
You are
drama.
digital livestock.
So-and-so's take on this, I have to know their take. Oh, that's such a problematic take. Take. Bitch, give. If your world is
Bitch,
bred in-
give. Whoa! That was actually great. That was really good. Hold on, I need to go back and hear that again, actually.
algorithmic outrage and other people's drama. Well, what's so-and-so's take on this? I have to know their take. Oh, that's such a problematic take. Take. Bitch, give.
Bars, actually.
That is really good.
If your world is bred in circuses, don't expect milk and honey, you bot. I've come too far not to speak the truth in this bitch. If you don't like what I'm saying, give it 6 months. This shit is going to get too loud for you to ignore. You cannot r/anti-AI your way out of this. The internet isn't real. You have two options. You can get dragged into irrelevance, kicking and screaming, or you can level up. I want to talk about how I reached these conclusions.
Okay, I'm gonna hit
For the longest time, I was disgusted by AI images. I saw one, I was just like, oh.
Oh no, wait, is he about to start defending AI? Do I need to unlike?
What was that? Oh. Tell me nobody painted that? Oh. And I fully believe that society would reach a moment of clarity where we all collectively went, oh, and it became taboo. I even considered becoming like
Kinda
the
has.
AI dude, in a different timeline. That's what this video is about.
I would even say it's more like a cultural divide thing at this point, where it's pretty much like a culture war thing, whether you like or hate AI.
People who like AI are so fucking like beyond like coping. It's come like full circle around to them, like huffing their own farts. They're like a snake eating its own tail, but their head has gone firmly up their butthole and it's not coming back out.
Elaine said this video is exhausting, but not necessarily in a negative way. I definitely feel what you mean by that. I haven't been exhausted. I've been fascinated, but I definitely feel how this could be exhausting. It probably would be if I was watching it alone. I don't think I would. I think if I had this on just in the background, I would have like tuned it out and just been like, all right, he's mad, whatever.
Yeah, I feel like every point he brings up is giving me another like he's taking me a step deeper into a world I've not stepped into before, and I have to comprehend what reality I'm in now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take a moment and be like, what?
I found myself belly laughing at AI Rasta monkeys on TikTok. I was on a deadline to finish a pitch deck, and I had a moment where I was like, fuck it, started punching specific images from my show in a Midjourney, and it spat them out exactly the way I envisioned. I generated dozens of them with long, wordy prompts, made tweaks until I felt my vision was fully encapsulated by the images, and then I showed my deck to a director, and he was like, yeah, I see the vision. This is dope, and the project has evolved, and now it's on track to getting produced. If I had commissioned craftspeople to make those hyper-specific images...
So he's defending AI because he's making an AI project, and he doesn't want people to be mad at him for that, right? That's all this is I'm doing AI, so don't be mad. That's all this is, right? I thought AI sucked, but then I realized I could use AI, and now I think it's dope because I got a deal off of it. Okay.
Yeah. It's like I had that conversation with ChatGPT for in preparation for writing my video Meme Dysphoria, and there's like an extended scene of me talking to an AI in that video, and doing the quote unquote research, talking to ChatGPT, it really was just like a moment of like, oh, it really is that creepy. Like this thing is trying to manipulate me, is what it felt like. Like it really is trying to win me over, and it made me kind of sad to think that there are like people who are like lonely enough to like talk to ChatGPT the way that I was doing insincerely for the sake of writing a story, but like people do that and feel like reassured and get like some kind of therapeutic satisfaction out of it. Like there are people using ChatGPT as a substitute for human connection, and that makes me so sad because to me it felt so transparently evil.
Thank you, Elaine. Elaine said I just donated via Cash App, no request, just having fun. I don't know where the fuck I put my phone, actually. Can I leave this shit upstairs? Oh no, it must be in my robe, right?
Gary always, no one was mad that I did that. Probably because I didn't just copy paste the ChatGPT text into the script. That would have been lazy and shitty of me. Shit. Yeah, speaks to modern loneliness. Yeah, it does. It's really fucking depressing. It's like, I don't know, that's the oppressive atmosphere that I think everybody's feeling lately. The way things are structured, social media, the news cycle, like everything is designed to divide people more and more, and people are falling for the propaganda completely. People being radicalized and just not fucking listening to anything outside their bubble. Zydias, I can see your chats. Petrichor said, Jarvis, shit out a picture of like a wee cool taiga on the Shrek 2 DVD.
What is this?
I remember, I was just reading Petra's chat, and it reminded me of when generative AI was first becoming like a big thing that everyone was mad about, and I decided for the hell of it, see what would happen, because people were, people claiming to be artists because they typed in a prompt and it's farted out a picture. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to be an artist now. I'm going to make a masterpiece. And I typed into not ChatGPT, I typed into whatever fucking image generator. Really, really awesome, epic, beautiful, gorgeous masterpiece, incredible, like artistic, deep, meaningful, incredible, like whatever, just to see what work of art it would come up with. And it just kind of looked like a neat, like sci-fi album cover. Like there's like a skull and some like weird techno shit mixed in there, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm an artist now, everybody. I did it. Like fucking everybody look on in awe at my genius. It's like if you're I don't know, people who do that shit, they're like, oh, but I like change the prompt to get the exact, I refine it to get the exact image I want, and I tell the AI what adjustments to make. Like, bro, you are not a fucking artist. At best, you are a producer. Shut the fuck up.
Petrichor said, Jarvis, shit out a picture of like a wee cool tiger on the Shrek 2. Oh, you read that. That's what you were reading. Okay.
That's what I was
That's
reading.
funny. I came in halfway through. Why not both, bro? We don't have to have any underclass that is so misanthropic. Why? Says Flying. I agree. Sarah says, all I ever did with any image generator was to type in Marge Simpson pregnant repeatedly to see what comes out. Excellent. By the way, I got 2 donations. I don't know if the names want to be read out, but one of them said, for what were you allowed to play? I don't know what you meant by that, but thank you. And Elaine sent $20. Thank you so much. Tomorrow's going to be a lot better. I will have enough money to do something with Bird tomorrow. At the very least, fucking buy him some weed and beer, because we're out of both.
Yay,
so.
weed and beer, yay.
I use ChatGPT as a tool. It's dumber than me. I am the main character in my story. Yeah, it is not smart. It's not like I feel like I've talked to AI once or twice and just immediately was like, wow, this sucks. Like, this is the worst.
It's pretty tedious. I tried to represent that in my video because
Yeah.
every single thing I said to ChatGPT, it would just rephrase and say it back to me. Like, yeah, I don't know, just the way that my friendships have been is wearing me out. Wow, it really sounds like your friendships are wearing you out. I'm like, yeah, thank you. Thanks a lot. Yep.
I think my favorite thing that has been done with AI was all of the president's videos where it's like the presidents are all gaming together, like Biden and Trump and Obama all like gaming together. That shit killed me. That shit did slay me. But I mean, that was ultimately just like scripted videos, and the only thing the AI was doing was imitating someone's voice, you know, which like technically you could do a much more complicated process of like splicing audio. I don't know. I think that was a fun use of AI to be like, let's make fun of all these rich, powerful people who have said so many words that their voices can be imitated easily. And
Got a load of my Biden blast.
And there's so many. Like, there's one where they're like arguing over which Mars Volta album is the best, and like I don't know how else that could exist or make sense without AI. So, you know, I can't hate entirely the concept of it. What I hate is the fact that it's like literally bad for the environment. Like, it's not. There's no way to use it ethically. Like, if that was possible, I don't think many people would have a problem. We'd just be like, it's kind of whatever. You can use it for little things, you know. It would be seen like tweening in animation, like frowned upon, but nobody's gonna like fucking throw a fit about it, you know. Well, somebody will, but
yeah, environmentally unethical, and I mean just the way that like, you know, things are structured, like capitalism, all that gay shit. AI, like people are incentivized to use AI in ways that completely fucks over things that are cool and interesting and are important to, you know, us having normal human relationships with each other. This is the way it's being used on a, like broadly culturally, is fucking eroding all the things that make life worth living, and I fucking hate it.
Hayden Walsh said Francis Demute, obviously. Okay, but Francis Demute is not even really the real Mars Volta, because the original Mars Volta had Jeremy Ward, and Jeremy Ward was only on the first EP and the first album before he died, and so can you really even call it the Mars Volta? It's just Omar's, like, band. It's just Omar's little, like, side... Sorry, I'm being weird. Somebody knew the Mars Volta, so I had to immediately attack them with Mars Volta knowledge. I donated 11 on Cash App to watch my new video. Oh, that's what that was for. Used to love the President AI voice videos too. That's like the only thing I've ever felt was truly guilty pleasure. Lamau. Yeah, I loved those. I mean, they got old. I assume people are still making them. They stopped being like popular. That or it's just because I got kicked off of Twitter a year ago, so I haven't seen what's going on with AI lately, other than when I get paid to watch a horrible Kanye West video.
Like in Petra saying, we do need to distinguish culturally between generative AI and neural networking for data analysis, such as picking up on cancer correlation. I feel like people who get different types of AI confused with one another, like saying like, oh, what, this fucking cancer program uses AI, like, to me that is like a fucking grandma who has to type on the keyboard with one finger. Like, that's just people being fucking stupid. Have some common sense. AI has been a thing forever. It's just a different kind of AI. Like, we're not mad about every AI ever. We're mad about a specific type of AI and a specific application of it.
I do think there's a heavy shot we are all going to end up having to use it. Like, not the way he's talking about, where he's just clearly embraced it because he had fun and, like, got signed on a project. I won't be surprised if it comes to a point where the average job, like, requires you to have some knowledge of interfacing with it. So that's more where I would be coming from. If I was going to say, like, hey, you're definitely going to end up using AI, I would say it's because your boss is going to make you. Like, it's not going to be your decision. You're not going to like it. You're just going to be forced to learn it, you know? Like, I don't like owning a smartphone on a moral level. I feel like, how the fuck would I participate in society without this thing? You know?
Yeah.
Like, on the level that I feel I must participate in society for my own safety. I just think this thing keeps me safer than I would be without it. But does this thing keep the world safer than it would be without it? I don't know about that. All right, let's finish this video quick so we can get to the Mayday from Space video.
And paid them ethical wages, it would have taken me thousands of dollars and weeks of time. And I know myself, I would have been breathing down.
Yeah, that's why you don't get to make projects
on their next two. It would have been a miserable experience for everybody involved. What would I gain from collaborating with people in that situation? I know what I want. I know I'm that guy. If I need to hire an artist, I will. But in this particular case, it wasn't necessary.
I'm that guy. That just reminds me. There's this YouTuber called What's the Dirt, who's like a white hip-hop beef commentator who got into a lot of hot water with like every other hip-hop commentator, so they all just rag on him relentlessly. And there's this one clip where he goes, I'm that white guy. And that clip comes up all the time when people are dissing him. They just play the clip. I'm that white guy, like every single time. So every time I hear someone say I'm that guy, it makes me think about that.
If your AI concerns primarily revolve around labor and capital, let me ask you this. Are people with excess wealth the only ones who should be able to make cool shit? Because that's how it worked for generations. That's how these fucking cartels, like Diddy, were able to maintain control over the actual creatives, because it was running on money. Meanwhile, at the bottom, it's still a favor economy. So like the short...
These cartels like Diddy, that's such an interesting way to phrase that. I mean, accurate, but...
film scene, 20 people work on your short film, and now you owe 20 people 20 weekends. And while you might have a good time and make friends and bond as film people do in the trenches, the fact of the matter is, good ideas don't come to struggling, exhausted people. They don't. Poverty suppresses your creativity, and yet...
That's not true. That's just not... That's evidentially not true. Definitely taking back my like now. What the fuck does he even mean by that? So much good art has come from impoverished situations. Like... What the fuck is he talking about?
When you're handed this tool that could circumvent all of that exhausting production and let you get your idea farm to table, you're like, oh, no. You oppose generative AI because you prefer interdependence to interabundance. You'd rather stand hand in hand at the bottom than be the first one up the ladder. You think you're holding the line by resisting AI, but really, you're afraid of true creative meritocracy. Because if you weren't struggling to make things, you'd be forced to confront the fact that your ideas really aren't as good as they seem when you're sweating for them. So
true creative meritocracy is not being able to use the collective... Like, the AI is not doing something because you told it to. It's doing what its interpretation of what you said is based on everything it's learned from everyone else. So it's remixing. Like, it is just remix. Like, it's... You can't... Like, it's not a meritocracy if the AI needs other people's art to learn from. Like... If there wasn't people who were better at making things for the AI to learn from, you would have nothing to get from it. You couldn't use it. So your ability to use AI is entirely dependent on the fact that there are human artists who are good who are teaching the AI. Otherwise, there's nothing for it to do. It has no understanding. So it's not meritocracy. You don't have merit by using AI. You're using someone else's merit to your advantage. I feel like that should be obvious.
So now you're advocating for the right to work harder, struggle more, think less, and produce lower vibrational art. You say you're ready for a new world, a happier world, an easier world, but you still identify with work. You still identify with rent. You still identify with labor. You think you're fighting the system? You are the system, defending itself. AI might take your job, but it's not a replacement for humans. It's not creative. You can't tell ChatGPT to have a good idea. You can't be like, hey, ChatGPT, write the greatest movie of all time. You have to bring the ideas. So I say, let's see who has the best ideas. They're going to hate me. I don't care. If AI can take your job, get better at your job. You think Dochi's worried about AI? You think Ludwig Göransson is chewing his nails at night like, oh no, what if the computer...
Do I think Dochi is worried about AI? No. But what the fuck does he mean? Wait. It sounds like he's saying, do you think people who are so good at what they do are worried about AI? No, I don't. They're so good at what they do, they don't need to be worried about AI. But you were talking about people using AI. Like... Are you saying Dochi's using AI? That she's into it? Like, what do you mean by asking that?
Makes better stuff than me? No, I don't think people should be making money from AI-generated content. At least not until we get the global economy sorted out. And yes, for ethical reasons, I do think generated content should come with a disclaimer. Maybe something along the lines of, this image would not be possible without the millions of anonymous old Earth artists who expended great effort to hone our culture's understanding of beauty. But beyond that, there's really nothing we can do. Once we get through this rough patch, we'll have UBI, universal healthcare, and land back for indigenous, and all kinds of dope shit. Since art laborers won't have to worry about bills, they'll finally have the headroom to forge their own creative identities instead of drawing butterflies for chump change. The movies of the future will. Yeah, no,
this is what Gary was talking about, where he suddenly gets too optimistic. He went from like, hey, things are relatively doomed to like the future's gonna be amazing. It's gonna have all this stuff. It's definitely gonna have UBI. It's definitely gonna have AI. I'm like, dog. Fucking America could be in flames in a week. You don't know. What the fuck are you talking about? Why do you think... nothing about what's happening politically right now is getting us closer to UBI. I want to think that naturally would shake out because it makes sense. Things that make sense are not what compels the world. People who want what they want compels the world. People who just take what they want, that's who compels things. This is now him sitting around talking about how the future should be, which is what he said was a problem with our generation at the start of the video.
I think one big thing that annoys me about this dude's argument, and like everybody who is in favor of generative AI being used in like art and stuff, they always come at it with this angle of like, oh, it's so we can have like stuff that appears higher budget and higher quality. Well, is like a shortcut. Like it's a shortcut to that, so you don't have, because we don't have access to that stuff. We don't like, you don't have access to like film crews and like all this fancy Hollywood shit. But with AI, you can do anything. And I don't know, when I hear that kind of shit, I'm just thinking like, you have no fucking appreciation for flaws. Like, to me, what makes the creative process interesting is that it is human and it is flawed, and not everything a person like puts into their art comes out perfect. Like, unless you're actively making an effort to have like this perfect Hollywood movie thing, like the mistakes and the little decisions you make along the way are part of it. That's part of the story. Like, whether it's intentional or not, mistakes you make along the way are a part of the art. And just wanting to take shortcuts and have the computer fart something out that is inherently inhuman is like, okay, like you're making it less creative and you're making it less artistic. Like it's, I don't know. I don't understand how, like this, because this guy's trying to say that like, oh, independent artists are capitalist brain because we prioritize hard work. To me, it's not about hard work. You can make good art that's really easy to make. Like you can fart out a good thing if you just have good ideas.
Yep.
It's just fucking stupid. I don't know. It's like this dude's the one who's capitalist brained. He's the one thinking that like, oh, we gotta fucking.
Yeah.
Hard work is not what makes good art.
It really feels like he didn't realize what everyone else's problem with AI is or something. Like,
no,
he
they
thought
never
we
do.
just thought it was lame, and then he started using it and realized that, like, oh, I can do something with this. So why is everyone hating on it? It's like, bro, we all know we could do something with it. That's not the fucking point. Nobody hates AI because we can't imagine what we would do with it. Like,
I've noticed a recurring theme with everybody who's in favor of AI art. It's that all of them have no idea what the purpose of art is. They don't understand why art exists in the first place. It's a deeply anti-creativity mindset to have.
all right, let's finish this up. I've now got Zerakiel sent $15 and a couple of meme videos for us to watch, so that'll be fun. Let's wrap
He
this
shot on
boy
sets and
up.
locations, just like they always have been. Why? Because it's fun. It's fun to team up and build art, especially if you're making actual money together. If I had access to artisans, then I would pay artisans. AI is simply a stepping stone for people who have not been elevated yet. You claim to want to be about the poor people. This is for the poor people. And a lot of people look at the situation.
You can't be poor and have access to AI. What the fuck are you talking about? You have a fucking computer and an internet connection. You're not fucking poor. Shut up.
like, oh, well, certainly the corporations.
Like, I'm not poor. I have no money. I'm not poor. I have shit. Like, I could fucking, worst case scenario, I walk a 25, 30, 250 Blu-rays down to the fucking FYE and I sell them and I have, you know, a little bit I could turn into something more. Like, fucking, you are not poor if you can use AI. Poor means you don't have fucking water. Like,
will just take AI and use it to exploit us all more, right? Because that's what they do. But the corporations don't have creative people running them. I mean, that's why we're getting all these live-action Disney remakes. They literally don't have good ideas. If me and Disney have the same tools, I'm eating Disney for lunch, bro. The creative world isn't a capitalist economy. It's a comic economy.
If me and Disney have the same tools, I'm eating Disney for lunch? Bruh, come the fuck on. If you and Disney have the same tools, you'd be hired by them and happily work for them.
It looks like corporate Hollywood is succeeding right now. They're not. They don't know what they're doing. They're treading water and harvesting bot money until better people come along and replace them, which we will, because we're smarter and angrier. And the execs will fold because they don't actually care. We'll negotiate a percent and we will wait them off to their retirement homes, and that will be it. And to my fellow young people who don't think it's possible for the camel to pass through the eye of the needle, just wait. I've seen it. I've lived it. They cannot dim our light. It's going to be okay. Those who coast off association and not talent will find themselves at the bottom of the emergent spiritual hierarchy. When the smoke clears, the winners will be the ones who truly deserve it. The ones who did the work, the ones who put good into the world and were given inspiration in return. The kingdom is when absolute power finally aligns with absolute truth, which is to say creative truth. It's going to be like 1,000 years of swag, bro. Like, it's going to be awesome. But, we just gotta hold on until that happens, you know? Everybody's speaking truth and sanity right now. Keep doing what you're doing. Expose these thoughts. When you show up with humor and musicality and nonchalance, you will just draw the poison right out of people. Like, you find out really quick how miserable people are.
You'll also maybe just get shot because somebody doesn't like that you're better than them. That happens all the fucking time. Oh, he's getting all the attention. How do I get the attention back to me? Pop, pop! That simple.
When you show up as a brick wall of positivity, don't let them guilt you. They're going to try to paint you into a corner. They're going to be like, well, if you don't agree with me, you're supporting bad thing. But get them away from me. Don't bother leaving a comment on this video either. I'm not going to read it. I'm going to go outside, and I'm going to leave my phone inside, and when I come back inside and I pick my phone up, I hope to see somebody actually saying things, and not just buzzwords and outrage. Like my friend Sky Fisher, you should follow her. She's a warrior poet, and she's dummy smart, and she deserves to blow up. Also, holding it down on TikTok, this dude Justin Scott, very important. Imperialism.
Bro, imagine getting promoted at the end of this video, though. You're like, hold on, wait, take me out of that one.
Is okay when it's online. Fuck the left, fuck the right. Everybody who disagrees with me will be turned into content. I am sick of the culture war. Let's win.
Well, I just disagreed with you, so let's see the content, dog. I would love a response to my response, if he finds out about this. But yeah, that was just jumbled up gobbledygook. That was a bunch of nothing. That was a bunch of sound and fury signifying nothing, as the Tempest would say. What the fuck? Shakespeare, that's the guy. Couldn't remember his fucking name. Oh boy. How do you feel, Krona? You ready for a Mayday from Space video?
Yeah, I need a palate cleanser. That guy was crazy.
Absolutely.
He was all over the fucking place.
Okay. What video games were you allowed to play growing up?
Great fucking question, by the way. Just an awesome idea for a video. Because my husband, Bird, was not allowed to play video games growing up. And, like, his, like, first game was Borderlands in, like well after it was out, you know, like at 16 or something like that. Like, Borderlands and Bloodborne, like, the first two video games he ever put hands on, which is, like, from my perspective, wild, because PS3 is, like, the third generation of consoles I was, you know, cognizant for, so, anyway.
Whenever I think about calling myself a gamer, I hesitate. Even though I've played video games since I was in preschool, Leapfrog Kids represent.
Damn, I never had one of those. I was a little old for that when it came out. Just slightly too old.
No, I got my start with the PS1 and 64.
Nice.
Spyro and Banjo-Kazooie.
I also started on N64, and initially the reason I didn't have video games from like the very beginning is that my parents were afraid that they make people violent because my eldest cousin, like 12 years older than me, is a fucking psychopath, and he had done so many heinous things and broken so many video games. He was always playing games and always screaming at them. He smashed like 7 PlayStations, and his mom would just keep buying him more. If you want to know how psychopaths are created, it's when no one rebukes them ever. So that's how he grew up. Yeah, he would get mad and he would slam them through the top. So he'd like break the console and the game, just like slamming on them. Yeah, psychopath. My mom had been dealing with him for like 10 years by the time I was born. So she was like, keep the video games away. It seems like they make you violent, because he was the only gamer she had known at the time. He got me into video games, though, because he would come over sometimes, bring over the video games, and he brought over an N64 and was playing Diddy Kong Racing at my house, and I was like, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life. Like, I was so enraptured by... Because at the time, my favorite thing in the world was Winnie the Pooh. So it was like going right from Winnie the Pooh to... Well, I shouldn't say at the time. I had also gotten into like Power Rangers and fucking dinosaurs by then. But like, just looking at it was like, oh, this is so obviously my thing. How do I get more of this? And it took me forever to even find it. Like, even after having an N64. It took so long to find Diddy Kong Racing that I wasn't even as passionate about it by the time I actually did. And my brother and my mom played more of it than I did when we actually finally got the game.
I feel fake and disconnected from the canon of the hobby. I grew up...
And you shouldn't, by the way. Just be a gamer. Almost everyone is a gamer. Like, everybody plays games all the time. And hardcore gamers will be like, yeah, but you're playing Farmville. And it's like, if you're playing Farmville for 12 hours a day, how the fuck are you not a gamer? Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Mainstream gaming culture is insufferable.
It is very. I would consider my mom like twice the gamer I am. Maybe 3 times the gamer I am. Because even though she's only played like a handful of Facebook games, when my mom plays a game, it's all she does for months. Like, she'll get super enraptured in like some puzzle game and have to master it, you know. And like, I've never played a game as long as my mom has played any of the top like 5-10 games that she's played, you know.
$5 from Isabel Incorporated wants us to watch Art from the Artist by Isabel Inc. after Mayday.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, y'all.
A lot. And in a family...
After Mayday, and also we have 2 Zeracule meme videos here.
With a tenuous relationship to the Baptist Church. So my media was very censored for most of the time I was growing up. One of the first games I ever played that I wasn't allowed to was Bungie's Halo.
Hell yeah.
I had just moved to New York a few months prior. The church had an Xbox, and while my family was visiting theirs, I got to play with them. It made that small 2-room office that they stayed in feel a lot more comfortable than the new house I had moved into just before. Years and states later, I had another friend in high school who I never got to know that well. But one day I was hanging out at their place and they showed me a video for a game debut. And it was a game from the same studio that had made
I really love your hair and makeup, by the way. Just wanted to make sure I said so.
Halo. I didn't know much about them, but I remembered how Halo was important to me and how great it felt to play with my friend like that. So I watched this trailer.
Halo is like the greatest bonding game. Like, playing co-op with someone in Halo.
Yes.
I still remember a
Especially
time, like, my parents, like, friends, their kid, he was like maybe 11 or so, and like just really withdrawn and quiet, but he was into Halo, and they found out that I like Halo, and they're like, "Can you please play with him?" And I was like, "Sure." And we played through the whole campaign of, I think, probably Halo 1 and 2. And it's just a great fun. I could tell that kid had an amazing time, because probably really hard for him to do alone, you know, but the 2 of us just like skated through it. I was probably like 19 at the time. It was a good time. And I played Halo with my brothers a whole lot.
For a game called Destiny.
Destiny, like the streamer?
Destiny was my game. You know, people when they say they're gamers,
Or the
a lot
stripper.
of the time there's like,
Which
they
stripper?
play a lot of games,
All of them.
or they sink everything into one game, and I sunk everything into Destiny. For
Imagine sinking everything into Destiny the streamer, though. Like, just sending him, like, majority
Don't make me
paycheck
imagine
every
that.
week.
10 years, I would take breaks.
10
but
years? God damn, is Destiny 10 years old? Shit.
Destiny 2 was my brother's favorite video game for a while, and he was playing that in like 2018. So,
God damn.
Yeah.
Almost every
Time just never stops moving. Not even for one fucking second.
DLC, almost every season, I would eventually come back and buy it. But
I can, like, feel the guilt radiating off of you about this Destiny. You don't have to feel this guilty about having played Destiny. It's fine. Destiny's fine. It's okay.
This video is giving a eulogy for Death of Destiny.
The first time I played Destiny, again, it wasn't a game I had. This was before I really started getting my own consoles, so I played on another friend's console when it came out. They would let me make my own character. Right before the game had launched itself, I remember that James Gunn's Guardians of the Galaxy had come out. And
By the way, the most like positive take I had ever heard on Destiny, the game went to shit though, and it's really bad now. Well, you know, she was not playing it now; she was playing it back then. But I remember one of my favorite YouTubers, Errant Signal, one of the biggest influences on me. He had said that Destiny was really like just great as a dailies game. Like if you just want a game whose whole point is doing the dailies, that is like the ultimate dailies game. And that's why it becomes like routine. Like it's meant to be a part of your life and just a thing you do every day. It was built for that. And from what he said, just did it better than most games that are similar. I don't know if there's like a whole ton of games that now are built the same way or what. I've never played this type of game really, like the online service stuff. Unless you count Infinity Nikki, even that I only played like 10 hours of.
the sci-fi aesthetics of the movie and the sci-fi aesthetics of the game, plus that there's a built-in dancing button.
Nice.
It really added to the cultural appeal of the game, and I feel like, especially since I'm so attached to Marvel, it pushed me to become more attached to Destiny as a game. It was the perfect cultural game for that very moment. Making silly little edits, dancing over twitching bodies of my
that on your
enemies with my friend. What?
Nope.
Where am I hearing this cat noise from? Is that in her video?
I thought it was her video.
Okay, it's got to be the video.
Was some of the first
I thought it was one of the house cats meowing in the background. I was like, what the fuck is going on? They don't sound like that. They don't meow like that.
memes I ever made. I mean, my first social media account period ever I made to post these edits on. But it was really interesting making a character in Destiny, because just because I didn't have my own copy didn't mean I wasn't able to make my own character. My friend was really nice, and he let me make my own character on his console. So when you make a character in Destiny, there's 3 classes you can choose between: Titan, Hunter, and Warlock. And Titan is really big and burly, and I've never really liked tanky characters. The Hunter has a hood and uses a knife and is like really cool and edgy. And I felt like that was a really obvious choice, so I didn't like that one. So I ended up going with the Warlock because I'm a dork, so I was like, oh, I'm going to choose the smart character. I wouldn't really...
I like always go rogue. Like, whatever's the most like up close, knife wielding, like right in your face, no thought required play style is what I go for in every game. Just hearing her talk about character customization, because I'm not that into character customization most of the time. Like, I don't usually go very far with it in games. The only time I really like felt attached to my character was Phantasy Star Online 2, because you can go really robust with the character customization in that. And I just made myself like this big titty, like silver haired, like mask wearing assassin lady. And I was like, this is the most badass I have ever felt in a video game.
Say I wouldn't really voice the thought that I liked how the coats looked like a dress, but I did. Eventually I was able to get Destiny for myself. I actually ended up with 2 copies. The first was for an Xbox One that my mother had got for me and my siblings. And the second was for the PlayStation 3, which I bought myself.
I've still never touched an Xbox One, even though I think I have a controller, like an Xbox One controller, just because it's a really good PC controller. But
after my father had passed his old PlayStation to me. Unfortunately, I was never able to play next to my friend. By the time I got a PlayStation 3, he had moved to a PlayStation 4. And this was...
I really thought you were about to say he died, and I was about to be like, oh shit, this took a dark turn.
Yeah, me too.
Before crossplay was a thing. One of the biggest selling points of Destiny is multi-person activities and these community and friend events like raids and the Trials of Osiris, things that you have to have friends to play. And, you know, for close to 10 years, I loved this game, but I was alone, and it felt like the game didn't love me back, which is really weird to feel about a video game.
That's how I feel about anime. That's exactly how I feel about anime. I've dedicated my whole fucking life to it, and it doesn't care about me at all. That's exactly how I feel about it.
So, I'm slowly going to be breaking down why Destiny is an abusive relationship and not a video game.
Damn.
Please look forward to
Well, now I am.
my next installment in this, which is probably going to be about Destiny 2. Bye.
That was wonderful.
Isabel commented, my parents gave me free access to the internet from the day I was born, and I started going on 4chan daily when I was 8 years old, so I was pretty much allowed to watch or play anything except South Park or Deadpool, which I, of course, watched anyways without their permission. What a weird couple of things to be like, but not that.
Yeah, 4chan's fine, but not South Park.
I assume they just don't know what 4chan is, and that they're
Yeah.
supposed to be upset about it.
That's some serious negligence, yeah.
I was just watching South Park with my parents as a kid, so I remember the day my dad came home with Bigger, Longer, and Uncut, and we all watched it together. It was fucking
wow.
awesome, and I was probably
That's
like
crazy.
8 or 9. Yeah, I grew up with, even before I was even in school, I was watching Beavis and Butthead, and so like Beavis and Butthead informed me enough as a kid that, like, before starting school, I swore a lot, and then my parents, like, specifically told me all the words I can't say at school, so I just wouldn't use those words until, like, you know, my mid-teens. Just because, like, even though it's like a weird thing of, I knew I had been swearing before and was self-censoring at like 5 to go to school, but I would say freaking and crap all the time. Like, this freaking crap, this freaking, and like I would go to my friends' houses and they would get upset at me for saying those words. They'd be like, "Don't swear," and I'd be like, "That's not a swear," and then they just kind of ignore me, you know, like, okay, I'm not gonna argue with this kid, kind of thing. But I definitely
my mom would have gotten mad at me for talking like that.
That dope ship said, "Ask Beavis." I get nothing but head. Oh lordy. Yeah, that show, like, one of my earliest memories is seeing Marilyn Manson on Beavis and Butthead, specifically Sweet Dreams, the music video, because he has tits, and I was like fascinated. I was, that's a man, but he's got tits. Sat in my brain in a way. All right, let's watch these YouTube poops that Zaracul sent. The following is a parody. This video is a series of jokes edited together using footage of several videos from the YouTube channel Folding Ideas. Oh, that's going to be hilarious.
Have a date as soon as the video goes live. So just know that I'm skipping to the part where Hank ignites and explodes.
No, Hank.
Yep.
No!
Hilarious. This episode is brought to you by the letter U. I'm sorry, that's really a So, how can anyone trust what you say? The unfortunate reality is that Wilkins and Wontkins are publicly collaborators and enablers of the Flat Earth movement.
You'd think they were this flat? Not to me, it didn't. People like that need brainwashing.
Yard. Hard. The Flat Earth is in my own backyard. What do? Well, you throw a bunch of flat earthers into the car, drive out to the mountains, driving because you aren't old enough to bicycle, set up a very small TV on the side of the lake, and spend about 5-6 years watching the TV show, evens together until you are all friends who can trust one another. Obviously, and then
I'm surprised how curious this has made me about the video itself. Like, I feel like this is a video, the original, that I threw on in the background and didn't pay attention to at some point, and now I'm like, what the fuck was he talking about in this video?
you say, yes, the Earth is round. Moron.
Good.
It's largely persuading idiots by going out to the shore of Lake Wonka.
Oh my
Okay,
God.
here we are at Lake Wonka.
Shut up. Shut up and get away from my house, Chris. We should talk about what Earth is. Like, what Earth really is. Because it turns out that on a 30-degree day, there's going to be a lot of vape fluid coming off the surface of the lake, demonstrating there are the good, clean Christian drugs that are appropriate to take, and the rest, which is cigarettes, sniff. Doesn't this smell just like a cigarette? No, you're wrong. Stop. It's a lot of fun poking fun at Flat Alf, but it's not
Flat
that
Alf.
funny, because the bottom line is that Flat Alf has been slowly bleeding for the last several years and is probably going to die soon.
This is serious. Pray
Why
about
was
it
Flat
and
Alf Captain Olimar? I'm very confused about that part.
don't do it again.
The only sensible thing to do is to pivot entirely to Flat Alf.
Okay.
Join
know
me
that
in
one.
the kitchen, have a spot at the table. You could eat a piece of pizza, the famous and
I might.
popular food, but it doesn't actually feature soup, so that's kind of take it or leave it. You could eat a steak burger from Steak and Shake on July 22nd, 2023 at 2 p.m. Eastern Time
Well,
in Huntington,
could
West
have.
Virginia, localized entirely within your kitchen. But these are the stakes. I don't know
thank
what
you.
you'd call it, slop food, so that's kind of take it or leave it. You could eat chicken
Stake it or
nuggets.
leave it?
It's
That's
about
kind of stake it or leave it? My God.
drive. It's about power. We stay hungry. We devour chicken nuggets, and it's something I find deeply fascinating. At the moment, the mainstream opinion in our society is that chicken nuggets are kind of gross. It's
What?
all the fault of one pathetic nugget, which does not look delicious and appealing at all. But
That's okay. It might not look delicious or appealing, or be delicious or appealing, but when you dip it in that sauce, you want it. And that's all that really matters, right?
it's still food. It's not sauce, and it's popular.
You're right,
with
it is not
kind
sauce.
People
It needs
who
sauce.
Write Jamie Oliver text chicken nugget fan fiction, and make no mistake,
He's got fucking chicken strips next to him. Why is he talking about nuggets, goddammit?
you will have those nugs.
Those are
because
not nuggets.
Similar to dragons. In the Bible, God shows up and proves that they're delicious. Or you can eat oranges on the far shore and just kind of look at oranges, and who can blame you? Oranges are delicious.
Yum.
Fact.
I didn't like oranges as a kid, but in recent years I got into them. You know,
Wow.
just peeling and eating a whole orange is very satisfying.
Hungry.
I was
Pipe
always an
1.1
orange
million
truther. I
oranges
remember in
into my
art
mouth.
class, like grade school art class, I fucking drew a picture. Like the teacher told us all to draw pictures of our favorite foods, so I decided to get a little wacky with it and draw myself as the king of all oranges, and I drew like my orange subject and everything. And I like showed it to one of the other kids, like, hey, look, I'm the king of oranges. They're like, you are not the king of oranges. Like, walked away. That kid was really fucking mad at me for some reason. Had to be like second grade. I don't know why that kid was so upset. Like, how fucking dare you claim to be some kind of fruit monarch, you piece of shit. I thought we were friends.
Chat real quick. But nothing I wanted to respond to.
Right now, nom, delicious cookie.
What? No, it is not a cookie. It's an orange.
Yeah, but shut up.
So you can see the water. The water.
The water.
Honestly, it's kind of affecting me. It's a shame it's not an orange. If you strip naked when you're out there on the beach. Oh boy.
This is bear country, not just bear country. This is country bear country. So we got the bear.
Fortnite is an offshoot of Christianity where Alfonso Ribeiro is a primary theological figure, and thus God is Carlton. And the primary concern of God is the true nature of the Carlton dance, its origin and its destiny. The two arms of Fortnite are the right and wrong. The game biases towards shot, pistol, rifle guns, basically becoming a contest of gaining several kilometers of unobstructed line of sight, or 11 feet. Close enough? Well, it's possible to play Fortnite. It's not possible for you to play Fortnite. You need to be able to buy all Fortnite battle passes.
I have not ever, and I cannot imagine myself playing Fortnite. Like, I feel like I would just instantly turn to dust if I tried to play this game.
Per year that you'll simply never get because you only have 10 cents. That's barely double digits. It's highly unlikely that you'll actually get the battle pass, and I wouldn't blame you if you wanted to despair. I'm so far above your financial skill level that you're not even really playing Fortnite. Because you can't get the battle pass, the only game that you play is going to be 3 tonight. You are basically, you don't have a skin, you don't even have the battle paddle. Fortnite isn't really for you. This maybe seems like I'm just complaining about the free-to-play players. I disagree. I don't think they are wrong. I think they're stupid. Stop being poor. This isn't Fortnite.
I'm trying!
Back up. If Fortnite Battle Royale is so hype, where is Fortnite Battle Royale?
That's true.
Obviously, Lake Minnewanka. A few minutes outside Lake Minnewanka. A few hundred minutes outside Lake Minnesota. A few thousand minutes outside Lake Minnewanka. It's a natural lake, but not actually. It's a gorge that's full of cold water, which is different, trust me. That makes sense. Try to understand it. If you're confused, that's particularly great. This is ultimately the meaning of life. That is both evangelion and evangelion and evangelion and evangelion and apocalyptic.
Oh no, she's just singing the same lyrics. Oh, it's like Frere Jacques style. Holy shit. There's still like 30 seconds left in this. Oh,
what's all this? See, okay, just a bit of groundwork because it's deeply silly. YouTube loop is effectively a process of creating new contexts out of the desirable parts of old media, isolating the very specific words needed to either create deliberately funny messages or meaningless word salad, and that's not even getting into the weird, unpolished edgelord garbage. I would show you this specific example, but the censors are not available to be... Okay.
I need to find the patience to make something like this, because that kind of shit cracks me the fuck up.
That was beautiful.
See, like, if AI had been used, that would not have been funny at all. Like, if you typed that script into AI and it was just an AI voice of folding ideas, would not be funny. But that was fucking hilarious.
Yes.
Oh man!
Surprise, bitch! This video is brought to you by deeply confusing and terrifying.
Wait, hold on, let me check the chat. Make sure everyone's still here. And the world didn't explode while I wasn't paying attention. I was obsessed with green apples, says Elaine. I was more into green than red apples growing up, but now I can't stand green apples, and I don't know why. I don't know what happened there.
Yeah.
I don't really like apples in general that much. I put them in a smoothie. They're fine there, but...
Ghost follows every person. If you're interested in the world being destroyed, you can easily do so with my sponsor, MySpace. If you're looking for something you can't get anywhere else, we've got Raw, we've got Cock, we've got fan favorite characters, we've got it's great. You can get a free 30-day trial at zzz.sarah.com. I don't even know how to begin. Okay, so exactly 800,000 years ago on this day, we saw the beginning of a cereal that left a sour taste in people's mouths. Though
was that real? Hold on. Frosted lemon Cheerios?
Beginning of a cereal.
Is this real? I'm gonna look this
It's
up.
limited edition.
That sounds fucking horrible. Oh god, they are real. What the fuck? No thank you.
cereal that left a sour taste in people's mouths. Though you may be wondering, what was Homestuck? Well, to answer that, we need to look at Homestuck, the whole thing.
Oh boy.
Perfect segue.
But beyond that, we also have to look at Kanaya. I'm down bad for Kanaya.
Who isn't? Yeah, earlier tonight, Bird and I were talking about Homestuck. I don't remember what brought it up. Because he's never read it, and I have. And I think it was just he was talking about how Homestuck fans are just like he was under the impression Homestuck is simply for annoying people. That is who it is for. And I was like, but I love Homestuck. And he was like, you really love Homestuck? I was like, yeah. He was like, all right, who am I the most like in Homestuck? I had to really think about it. And I was like, Kanaya. I think you're like Kanaya. And he said he's been compared to Dirk. And I was like, Dirk also crossed my mind as somebody other people would compare you to. But I think I'm more like Dirk. So that's why I didn't want to compare him to Dirk.
What the fuck?
But Kanaya came into my head.
I'm sorry, but I have to be honest when I say that I'm engaged to her Act 1. So, okay, what is Homestuck actually about? That, fundamentally, to sum up the meat of the story, it's about a bunch of kids. Suffice it to say, it was a comic. It also spawned the meme.
Was it a
reading
comic?
Homestuck is like sharing a Toblerone with Jesus Christ. My favorite moment of that was when someone paid Judge McElroy to say it in an episode of My Brother and Me. Great stuff.
Reading Homestuck is like sharing the Toblerone with Jesus Christ.
So overall, well, now I want to show you a picture of Vriska. Her levels of huge energy are
I forgot about that My Brother and Me podcast. I never actually listened to it because it seemed like really insufferable, but it was like massive for like a long time.
sort of relatable to people. Honestly, I would say from this point on, Homestuck is gonna get a lot more divisive and a lot more Act 2. Sam's Wait,
How can
what
we
does
only
the
be on
script
Act
say?
2?
I get to make Sarah say Sam's Undertale is my motherfucking dad. Oh, thanks a lot for that. Suffice it to say, literally.
She said it exactly the same in all. Hold on.
Wait, what does the script say? I get to make Sarah say Sam's Undertale is my motherfucking dad. Oh, thanks a lot for that. Suffice it to say.
My God. She said it exactly the same in all 4 times. Damn. I appreciate the consistency, I guess, but fuck.
Literally nothing about this makes
That has
sense.
to be
This
intentional,
isn't
right? She has a co-writer. Just someone looking over everything she writes.
I think that's the kind of stuff that just slips. This video is probably like hours long, right? If it's her explaining Homestuck.
She made 2 different Homestuck videos, and they're both long.
Oh, I don't know anything about. I've never seen this person before. I've seen the name Sarah Zed, but.
Oh, I listened to a bunch of her video essays when I was a trucker. She's how I discovered Lady Emily, because Lady Emily co-writes her stuff.
I see. That's okay. That is why I've heard of her, because I've seen Lady Emily mention being a writer for Sarah Zed.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
news to most of you. But what some people don't know is that there's a really fired Flash animation website. It just isn't Homestuck. Act 3, homestarrunner.com. Homestarrunner is a video game based on Homestuck.
Well, that's simply not true.
Homestarrunner is epic.
Well, that's true.
And this is not.
Well, that's simply not.
Act 666.
All right.
People will rewrite
Fuck
the past,
Act 3
but
or 5.
nature will remember everything. The other day, I learned how to say fuck, but I won't say fuck you. There's something very strange about Homestuck.
The other day I learned how to say fuck is really fucking funny to me.
Its plot involving a vehicle that could be used.
I fear the day that people are making YouTube poops of my videos just like this.
No, you must look forward to the. I wish people were making YouTube poops out of mine, actually. It's been a long time. I'm sure it has happened.
I have to beat them to the punch. I will be the pooper. I will not be the poop.
I will be the pooper. I will not be the poop. Oh my god.
Just to influence the ghost of Bugs Bunny. There are a lot of ridiculously long videos that say that Bugs Bunny can never die. At some point, you have to just accept that Bugs Bunny is dead. It would be nice to talk about that.
Is Bugs Bunny dead? Shit.
But instead, look at this complex piece of art with this strange, very big dog on a beach. It's incredible. Geez. Homestuck was this cult where people were so dedicated to die of coke, they'd give tens of thousands of dollars immersing themselves in this candy water that made them, in the best of words, very, very keep. It's a shame that this is what we have to close this out on. It really feels #problematic, but fuck.
But fuck. Holy shit. That was great.
Oh,
Thank
Lady
you,
Emily's
Zach.
right there in the fucking comments. That's funny.
Oh, amazing. Yeah, it would be, I guess. All right, Isabel's video now.
Yay.
Isabel said, my 12-year-old protege is in love with Homestuck, and apparently it's hitting it big with, like, middle schoolers. Honestly gives me hope for the youth. That's so weird about Homestuck, though, to me, is that it appeals to people who are so much younger than I feel like it makes sense. Like, because even at the time, when it came out, like, most of the fans were teenagers. Like, it was massive with Tumblr teenagers. And, like, I was a bit older than most of the fan base at the time. I was like 20, I think I was literally 20 when I read Homestuck, and I still was older than most of the fans I saw, like, around. Other than Hope, who was the one who got me and Victor to read it, because she was a huge Homestuck. And that's because she was a Tumblrite, so, you know, it just made sense. But, like, Homestuck's, like, kind of hard to parse. Like, it's got fuckloads of references to, like, mostly 90s and, like, early 90s shit. You know, Hussey's a bit older than I am, so, like, his frame of reference is even older than mine. The entire story is basically an Earthbound parody, which these days, like, because of Homestuck's influence, now everybody knows Earthbound. At the time it came out, Earthbound was, like, a very obscure RPG that, like, nobody was talking about on the internet until, like, after that. And, you know, then it became that guys like Toby Fox, who probably, I don't know if Toby Fox came to Earthbound independently of Andrew Hussey and was therefore a fan of Homestuck, or if he got into it through Homestuck. But either way, he started making, like, mods of that game, and, like, there's a lot of Earthbound blood in the whole Homestuck lineage, like, everything that's inspired by it. Which is just an interesting thing, because there wasn't a prevalent Earthbound influence on American culture at all before Homestuck. No. I had never once seen anyone talk about Earthbound as, like, a major influence on them until around then. And then suddenly it started being, like, in all the conversations about, like, oh, this is one of the greatest RPGs of all time, you know. But yeah, Earthbound was definitely obscure, Petrichor. I mean, not only... think about this. First of all, the first game never came out in the U.S. The second game did, but was not a hit. It was like a total flop commercially. And then the third game still hasn't come to the U.S., even though it's considered one of the greatest RPGs of all time. And there was a massive petition to have it come to the U.S. You know, eventually Mother 1 did actually get brought over, weirdly. Still not 3, though, I believe, right? Pretty sure they still haven't released 3, but Mother 1 and 2
they never will. That's not happening. Yeah, wild shit, especially because it's become such a legendary franchise. And obviously Mother 3 fan translations are easy enough to come by, but maybe that's why they haven't done it. They just think it wouldn't be worth the investment to something that most of the people who care have already played. But they would buy it. Like, if they released it, those fans would buy it. I'm sure of it. I'd buy it, right? Fucking meow. Yeah, I missed the boat on Homestuck. It's just weird because to me it seemed like the kind of thing that was very exciting because it was currently happening, and then as soon as it wasn't currently happening anymore, I didn't hear fuck all about it for years, and now all of a sudden it's, like, coming back and it's animated and everything. I'm like, why? What? Is Homestuck still relevant? People still talk about this? I'm honestly shocked. I've tried reading it many times over the years. And it was exhausting when I was a teenager, and it's still exhausting now. I've only read Act 1, and I don't really care to read more.
Isabel says she doesn't even know what Metroid is, and then Mayday from Space said, isn't that the robot dude who hangs out with Pikachu in subspace? Honestly, though, that was my, like, when I was a kid in, I want to say Smash Bros. 1 came out in 99, and, like, there was no Metroid on the N64. So, for me, whose first console was the N64, I was like, who the fuck is this? I have no fucking idea who, like, I knew Mario, I knew Pikachu, you know, I knew Yoshi. I had no idea who the fuck Samus was, because it had only been on NES, Game Boy, original Game Boy, and Super Nintendo, none of which I had owned. And then when Metroid Fusion and Prime came out, like, fucking, I think they came out like the same day or some shit, or like month apart. I got both of those, and so that was my first exposure to Metroid, was really Fusion, because Prime was too fucking hard for me. So
also when my brother played Metroid the first time, and then he explained to me, I'm like 5 years younger than him, he explained to me that, hey, shit, that robot guy in Smash Bros, it's actually a girl. And I was like, what the fuck? Blew my mind to pieces.
It kind of should be obvious when you really look at her, but, you know, I understand why it's not, especially to...
Yeah, I just saw a cool robot. I had no idea.
Gamer boys.
Also, Samus is not a particularly girly name.
That's true. Samus.
Samus!
Alright, what was the video Isabel said to watch? Because that already disappeared off the chat.
I think it's separating art from the artist.
Separating art.
It's a new one.
Am I on the wrong channel? There's more than
I think
one
it's on Isabel Incorporated.
Isabel Incorporated is the main channel, and the other one's the not main channel, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think World Tour is like her vlog channel mainly.
Damn, these videos actually get pretty decent views. You're batting above your sub count by like a lot. That's really healthy.
Yeah, she and I were like tied in our subscriber count for a good while there. Like
both,
she would pull ahead, and then I would pull ahead, and then she would pull ahead again.
You both do a really good job of batting above your sub count, which is like that's to me the mark of a healthy channel. Not how many subs it has, but how many more views it has than how many subs it has, like regularly. You know.
The newest one, doing pretty solid numbers. Yeah.
Oh wait, yeah, is that the one that you wanted?
Yeah.
Yeah, this video is great.
You cannot separate the art from the artist. The mere conceit that such a thing could even be possible conveys such a deep misunderstanding of what it means to be a human as to border on sociopathy. Now, let me get the obvious out.
The newest one has the world's worst comment section. Oh, I bet.
Out of the way.
Oh,
this
I
is
can't
not
wait
me
to
saying.
read it.
Yeah, I'm going to dive into that for
person,
sure. Especially if this has 2,000 views already. This is definitely going to be a fucked up comment section.
Enjoying art that is made by bad people. Some of my favorite art is made by the worst people on the planet. But how I reckon with that is not pretending that those people don't exist and that this art just appeared. To me, there is no criticism that you could possibly level at a piece of art that is more cutting and deeply disrespectful to the entire practice than I can watch this or listen to this or whatever and delete the identity of the author from my mind. To me, that conveys that what you are talking about is the most corporate, lifeless, personalityless drivel that you could possibly watch. And in that case, why are you watching it? The other really weird thing is support.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to watch Rurouni Kenshin and not notice that there's like a bunch of teenage girls thirsting after adult men in this show. Like it happens in the show.
Damn.
So I don't know how you watch that and don't think, oh yeah, the guy who made this is like a known to have like collect DVDs of girls this age. Seems like this is wish fulfillment fantasy on his part. I can't ignore that. I can't watch the show and not think about that when those characters show up and act that way. Does it mean that Rurouni Kenshin is a 0 out of 10? Maybe. It might mean that, you know? Like, What is so good about this that you couldn't just get from somewhere else? Gintama is a masterpiece. Fuck Rurouni Kenshin.
Supporting the art monetarily, whilst you are separating the artist from your mind. Like, I got people out here like, yo, I'm buying all the old Rurouni Kenshin volumes. I'm gonna read all of it. But I'm gonna separate the fact that a pedophile made it from my mind. You're saying that this artist is so bad that you need to forget their existence in order to enjoy the purest form of their expression, yet they are not bad enough that you aren't willing to give up your money for them. You could buy like 5 Patreon memberships.
Like Kaoru, the main girl, she's 18 and she's the oldest woman in the series that is interested in Kenshin, I feel like. He's 28.
To my Patreon for like one of those volumes, man. What the fuck you doing? Now, you could say, what about art that was made before they committed the crimes? What about people that changed and became much worse people years after making the art that I like? Well, obviously, that's a different case, and as long as you're not monetarily supporting that, I don't care at all. In fact, I don't care at all about any of this. You can watch terrible art made by terrible people about doing terrible things. Don't pay for it though. That's weird, man. Why are you doing that?
Chinatown,
in conclusion, donate to my Patreon. Hey everybody, this is my first unscripted video. If you have any thoughts and criticisms or whatever, anything like that, then leave it in the comments.
I would not have known it was unscripted if you didn't say so.
Trying to switch things up on the channel, trying to do some different things, and I got some exciting stuff coming down the pipeline, so if you want to see that, then please subscribe. And watch my other videos too. I got daily videos coming out on multiple channels. You can see those pop up at the top of this playlist right here. And again, please donate to my Patreon, and if you want, you can join my Discord server, both of which are linked in the description. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next week, for real this time.
Alright, I gotta go pee. If you want to give your take on that while I go.
Okay. I agreed with pretty much every word of that video. I don't know if I have much to add. Just like I listened to it, and it was like every sentence said, I was just like nodding my head like, yes, that is correct. Hell yeah. Really glad this video exists so I don't have to make it, because yeah. Oh man, this is about the time I normally go to bed. I'm getting tired, shit. Yeah, no, Isabel, you hit it out of the park with this one. Nailed it. I was wondering the whole time, I'm like, is this one unscripted? It's like I couldn't really tell. Noticed that she was talking slower than she usually does, so I was like, maybe. But yeah, for an unscripted video, that was really fucking good. Elaine says Isabel's a minor, right? I'm not mad or anything, but are minors allowed on Patreon? I mean, I don't see why they wouldn't be. I mean, teenagers can, like... says, nope, it's legally owned by my mom. Okay. I don't know. Teenagers can fucking work at fast food restaurants. They should be allowed to earn money on YouTube. I don't give a fuck. Left to drop a comment and a like. Nice. I'm also going to pull that video up on my end because I want to read those comments. Oh my god, the pinned comment. I like how it zoomed into a map of Japan and you're talking about how you like art made by the worst people on the planet. Jesus Christ. Not intentional.
Gary said, what about art made by large groups of people like movies? And that is something that fascinates me. Sorry, I don't know what you were just saying. I assume it was relevant to what I'm saying. Like, when Ender's Game came out, the movie version, like, there was a lot of people saying, like, oh, boycott this movie because Orson Scott Card, like, donated all this movie money to anti-gay activism or whatever. And I was like, on the one hand, like, yes, boycott the movie because it obviously sucks. Like, it didn't even look good. But, like, he didn't make the fucking movie. And, like, there's no way that no one gay, like, worked on it. You know what I mean? It's similar with, like, with Chick-fil-A. When people talk about, like, Chick-fil-A, they're, like, Christian, anti-gay. And I'm like, there's so many gay people who work there, though. So, like, I understand not wanting to support something that you think, this money is going to go to a place that's, you know, against me, but it's also literally going to gay people because they work there. And it's kind of like, again, you know, there's no ethical consumption under capitalism. You should just feel bad about all of it. You should just always be like, yeah, what I'm doing is terrible because I live in a terrible world and there's nothing I can do to not make it terrible. That doesn't mean consume whatever you want all the time thoughtlessly. In fact, it means the opposite. Think about it a lot. And that will probably make you change what you consume because you're thinking about it so much. I just think most people don't want to have to think. Like, they just don't... They hate thinking and they don't want to do it, you know? All right, let's see some comments here. I accept the art and the artist. I find that while we don't know the flaws of other artists just because they've never been exposed doesn't mean they're saints. It's often the flaws that make certain artists' work transcend. I'm convinced it's the social divergence, darkness, and eccentricity that flavors their art, even implicitly. I separate art from artists in a sense, in that I'm willing to consume their art regardlessly of their actions or belief, or whether I'd endorse or condone such behavior, but at the same time I think the art's merit is probably inextricably formed by those areas of their personality. So in a way, I am appreciative of their darker side as a consumer of their work. I can never meaningfully put myself into a mental space of a cannibal serial killer, but if they wrote a book and had a high degree of technical proficiency in their writing, I'd be compelled to read it due to the invitation to see the world articulated through such a niche and alien lens. I feel like Isabel's video wouldn't contest that. Like, because basically she was just saying, don't fucking pay for it. Like, if you know it's made by a bad person, don't spend money to support it. It's not like, it's not going to make you a bad person to watch it if you're watching it and, you know, coming to your own conclusions about it. Which I think is what, I think this person's trying to just defend the act of watching things by bad people. And I don't think Isabel was necessarily saying don't watch things by bad people. She was saying don't support things by bad people.
Yeah.
Act your age, everybody. I'm not sure what they mean by that.
No idea who they're addressing.
The phrase should be, because like if Isabel was acting her age, she would be making a much dumber video than this. The phrase should be, you can like the art but not the artist because it's more realistic. Yeah, you can like the art but not the artist. I would even say, like, I don't know, like when I think about, like there's...
Sorry. That was just one of the comments you scrolled past was really funny.
Which one?
Scroll up a little bit. One more. A little more. There it is. Yes, I can. Watch me. Never even knew about the artist to begin with. I just consume. It's the phrase,
wow,
I
that's
just
so cool,
consume.
man. You just consume? I've never heard anybody say something so depressing and dystopian in my life. Yeah.
So fucking funny.
Great response.
Why can't you just turn your brain off and enjoy things?
Yeah, this is so much of the artist is in its core that if you wanted to separate art from the artist, it would be near impossible. And I think that's just always true. Like, yeah. I think if you can't tell the connection between the two, it means you're not looking for it. You know, like you don't want it to be there.
People who aren't artists themselves often think, oh, art is there to entertain me. It's there to tickle my brain and make me forget about my life for a few minutes. And they don't think about it any deeper than that. And that's why they have these silly takes.
You can very much separate the art from the artist, says this commenter. The author of that Red Samurai anime you showed at the beginning likes CP. Does that mean he's drawing it and incorporating it into his story? Yes! I explained how. The guy who started World War II and hated a group of people was an artist. In his early works, did he paint the group of people dying? No, he painted pictures so fucking terrible that nobody would support his art, so he started killing people en masse. Literally a failed artist. Like, that's why he was so fucking angry. He could not get it out through art. Or at least it couldn't be accepted through art, I should say. Yeah, like, I keep thinking about Ye, right? Because Ye is the one who comes up the most when people are very insistent that Ye is one of the greatest artists of our generation and a terrible person. And I think those two things are exactly correlated. I think that what makes his art interesting is that he is so open about how bad of a person he is. But that doesn't mean it's, like, admirable, really. Like, I don't think being great at art is, like, some amazing thing we should all be championing all the time. Being great at art is just a thing some people can do. Is it special? Not really. Like, what is more special about being great at art than being great about, like, giving a back scratch? Like, nothing. It's just a thing that some people can do, and other people are blown away by it. But, like, Sarah says, his art was exactly as fascist as you would think it would be. It's form-heavy classical oil paintings of buildings and castles, and they're not even good realism. They look like shit. This is about Hitler's art, of course. Oh, I shouldn't say that name. I'm going to get demonetized now. Fucking
yeah.
But did you know that you can't even say Hitler, like, without it being an ad problem? Like, I've watched lots of videos censoring his name now. I'm like, oh, fuck, Jesus, dude. Like, we're really letting this happen? Like, we're going to roll over and let them tell us to stop saying the name of Hitler? Who do you think wants that, by the way? Who do you think wants us to stop saying Hitler so much? Maybe the two guys constantly getting compared to Hitler, the two very powerful men. You know who I'm talking about. I don't even have to say their fucking names. Two very powerful men who get compared to Hitler all the fucking time probably don't like... You can say Adolf. I saw a video the other day, or like earlier today, that literally said, like, Adolf, angry German man. Like, that was how they referred to him.
Wait, I need to... Wait, where is the... Oh, I lost it.
I saw a YouTube short slop video censor the word stupid today. Yeah, that's a bit Professor Sky's been bringing up, which I totally agree with. He keeps saying, like, you realize that in 15 years your kids are going to be, like, cancel you for saying the word stupid. Like, it's literally all the words we have now that you can be canceled for were originally things people just casually said that are, like, stupid is ableist. I don't know how to not look at it that way, you know? But I don't think we're going to move towards more censorship. I think that's going to break at some point. Because censorship isn't populist, and I think people will always want to be able to say whatever the fuck they want. First and foremost.
I want to rewind in the chat real quick and just ask Night Otaku real quick. Please tell me you're joking. Please tell me you're fucking joking about Asmongold being based. That sounds like a meme. I hope it's a meme. It's one of the least based human beings.
If you want to see someone who has a mannerism to draw an unbiased existence, watch Asmongold. He's so based. I thought he was angry because his mother had breast cancer and the Jews' God couldn't heal her. About Ye? Ye's mad at a lot of things. I think Ye is mostly upset that he can't get whatever he wants all the time, and so he throws a fucking tantrum to see if he could get what he wants about it. And it fucks up things for lots of people every time he does it. My 12-year-old protege has told me that edgy insanity is having a huge comeback among Gen Alpha. Oh yeah. Yeah. It's gotta... It would have to, because I think young people understand certain things about the world better than older people, because older people slowly learn what they need to do to fit in, and young people just look at the world in just raw rationale. You know, it just is, everything just is what it is. They don't really try to make it something else because they don't know how yet. So I think as a young person, it's natural to be like edgy because you just see things and you copy those things and you're not thinking about what does it mean, you know. But the older you get, the more you kind of sand yourself down and, you know, try to fit in more with the people around you, because eventually people get sick of it. You know, like if you're abrasive all the time, people eventually get sick of it. But as kids, you don't really know what you're supposed to be sick of. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like there's a lot of stuff that like I would have checked people on if I could go back. You know, like that current me would have been really upset about things that other people were saying around me, you know, growing up. Isabel, all her friends say racial slurs constantly. Where is she from? Like, it's one thing if her friends are all different races, but if it's like a bunch of white people saying slurs, then that sucks.
Dr. Killjoy said Asmongold in the last couple months has swung hard to the right. It's an insincere grift, but still, only in the last couple months? It's like the only thing
about that guy. Yeah.
The only thing I know him being famous for is that he occasionally says like heinous shit. And I first heard of him like 2 years ago. I heard of him for saying heinous shit and also for having like the stinkiest, messiest bedroom in history. Like he's famous for being disgusting.
All I know about him is how fucking disgusting his house is, and that he was really eager to dogpile on Anthony Fantano. In a way that seemed really insincere to me, because I'm like, bro, you are problematic too. Why are you casting stones? How bad is the bedroom? From what I hear, very bad. Can't separate trash apartment from Asmongold. Thank you, Googaloo Doogaloo. Great fucking name, Googaloo Doogaloo.
That's really sad. I'm like,
Also,
Asmongold is one of those guys. Like, for years, I had no idea what the fuck he even got famous for. I'm like, what does he do? Is he just stinky?
I think he's a WoW player.
And an idiot?
He's famous for World of Warcraft Classic or something.
Yeah, he's just a gamer. Just a gamer that people pay too much attention to. Because I used to see posts about him constantly when I was on Twitter like 2 years ago. And I was like, why do I keep hearing about this guy? I don't know who the fuck he is. It's like, wait, he's stinky? Okay. Is he famous because he's stinky?
He's
what
loud.
happened?
He's loud and aggressive, and that makes him easy to listen to, you know, which I get.
So weird.
That's why I listen. There's a YouTuber named Finn McKenzie. We were making fun of him in the Discord earlier today for being like the epitome of the libertarian guys with Asian wives stereotype. Like, just everything in that stereotype, he is that guy. And his show, The Punk Rock MBA, like, I never thought it was particularly good in the sense that it is like YouTube slop content, but he was the only person talking about a lot of like 2000s and 2010s like rock music and like giving these histories and stuff like that. So I would watch his videos because it's like, okay, this is relevant to my interests, and more importantly, he's just loud. Like he talks like this at all times. And like fucking Garzy's Wing. Like he literally talks like Chris from Garzy's Wing. But because
I must somehow make sense of our convoluted situation.
That's exactly how he sounded. But like y'all thought I was punk? Nah, I'm more MBA. Yeah, he was just really loud, and so I would watch like all of his videos because it's easy to have on in the background when I'm like really dissociated, because I can still like I won't forget I'm listening to it because every word is so cuttingly fucking loud. His voice just like occupied all the airspace. So if I needed something to throw on to just like hear a voice in the background, I would watch like every Punk Rock MBA, including his side channel videos. And I didn't necessarily like agree with his perspective that often, but it's funny and loud, so you know, sometimes that's enough. I've got a lot more stuff I can watch now, thankfully. I've also mostly moved into hip-hop YouTube at this time, so, you know, but I do think being loud is like a benefit to being a voice user.
Yeah. For sure.
I definitely talk way louder on these streams than I do in real life. Like,
yeah.
I'm not a very loud person in general.
I spent most of today bumming around the house, not saying a word, and then I had to release all of my pent-up energy in one creative burst of all those weird fucking videos I made on my trip to Taco Bell. I was screaming into my phone camera.
The Taco Bell saga is the stuff of legend.
It was pretty fun. I enjoyed doing that.
I'd be tempted to show it, but I kind of don't want to give it to them. I want it for myself. You can show it someday if you want.
Do you think should I or should I not release the Taco Bell saga as a series of YouTube shorts?
I think it would be funnier to let its legend like exist out there, and then maybe like play it on a stream one day when people are like, "You have to show us the Taco Bell saga."
This is pretty funny. Like some shit I did on the spot in Discord for fun.
Isabel
Sarah
said
says, "No, I think you should post them.
Go
They're
for
pretty
it.
weird."
I mean, it's highly entertaining. I definitely think they should exist in the world as evidence of how funny and adorable you are, as if there wasn't enough in every other video you make. But
fucking man.
Isabel said, "There's a guy that makes bullshit vids about superhero movies called John Campea that I watch for the same reason." Yeah, sometimes people just be loud.
I don't know if there's any like loud people I like to listen to. I just turn up the volume if I'm worried I'm gonna stop paying attention.
Sarah said, I was aware of that guy since like 2017. He became a target of mockery for a podcast that I was involved in back when he was a lot smaller. I can't believe he broke containment and became a guy. I assume you mean Finn McKenty. It was because he had a really good video about the history of Slipknot. And it was like the first time that somebody was really like, no, this band is like legendary and amazing and the stuff they did should be studied, which is a way that nobody was talking about Slipknot at the time. So that was what got me to subscribe and end up like binging all his videos, because it really was just like history lessons on every fucking, and like literally he was just reading Wikipedia articles with good editing, but like, you know, it was Wikipedia articles I wasn't going to read on my own, so I don't mind that necessarily. Yeah, it certainly wasn't like amazing content. Good night, Zeracule.
Aside from my Taco Bell video, sorry, I was just looking through my phone. Did you see the little video I posted in response to those EV tier lists?
I don't think so.
It's because I posted mine and I put Sylvie on an A tier, and one of our friends was like, "Oh, why did you put Sylvie on an A tier and not S?" And I said, "Because I'm transphobic," and I posted this dumb little video. If you want to play this on the stream, it's like 10 seconds.
Oh my god, why are you Nick Cage?
Now they take up Pokemon games and they have to fill it with this shit with fucking pronouns.
Why does you bald look like Nick Cage? Holy shit.
Now they take up Pokemon games and they have to fill it.
Oh, you're Az. You're supposed to be the Az guy, the bald screaming pronouns man.
With this shit with
pronouns.
Fucking pronouns.
Fucking pronouns.
Fucking.
Oh my god, that guy.
I love how shitty the filter was. Like, it turned my poofy hair into like a really fat head, and like it tried to cover up the posters in the background, but just distorted them severely. The field of energy around my bald head that occasionally turns into hair. So
oh my god.
Oh my god.
It do be 3 o'clock in the morning.
I'm quite tired. This is when I normally go to
We haven't
bed.
gotten any more requests in a while, so this might be it might be about time.
I think so.
Might be getting to be the hour of doneness. We streamed for 2 hours 43 minutes. Felt longer than that. This one felt long. Probably because I spent the first half hour like rapping. And at some point I played Jordy Greep, and I feel like as soon as Jordy Greep gets involved, it's like the longest night of my life. Like if I even mention that name, I'm having the longest night of my fucking life again. Which is probably what I'm going to do after the stream. Quite frankly, I'm just going to go watch Jordy Greep live shows. It's one of my favorite things to do. It will bring me great joy.
Yes.
All right. Good night, everybody. Thanks for coming out.
Good night, everybody.